Chapter 1. Earth. AIG 784 years. The darkness is full of dirt, and the despair is deep. Downpours of rain fell from the sky. The crackling sound continued. Despair and death were spreading. Crackling. Boom. Suddenly, there was a deafening roar from above, followed by golden lightning rushing and roaring, appearing continuously. Somewhere in the ruins of a city above ground. Brother Gohan, it's all my fault, it's me, I didn't help at all, it's all my fault. A teenager was crying bitterly, angry and remorseful. Deep in love, hugging his head and howling, roaring in anger. With the release of emotions, pale golden flames surged from his body and emerged. Under the mixture of tears and rain, the boy's cheeks were completely stained, and it was unclear whether he was still crying or was washed by the rain. The anger was getting higher and higher, and in just a moment, it ushered in the ultimate sublimation. Ah! With a burst of hysterical shouts, the transformation was completely completed. The boy's hair stood tall, his pupils turned emerald green, and the color of his hair also changed to golden yellow. That's right. This is Super Saiyan. This boy is none other than Trunks. The person who fell to the ground was none other than Son Gohan. Anyone who has watched Dragon Ball anime knows this kind of picture. Such a plot will only happen in the future time and space of the Dragon Ball world. At this moment, because of Son Gohan's death, Trunks exploded completely, thus transforming into Super Saiyan for the first time. For Trunks, as a fighter, he didn't help any, and could only watch his elder brother Son Gohan die. Even though he has transformed now, he doesn't have any joy. There was constant hatred and anger in my mind. At the same time, self-blame and unwillingness, remorse and discouragement, multiple different negative emotions linger in his heart, entangled him stubbornly. Gaining unparalleled power, but losing his loved ones, the price was too heavy for him who was underage. Trunks is in an uncontrollable state, and he needs to vent now, but he can't find any point to relieve his sorrow. At this time, he didn't even notice that Son Gohan in front of him moved his finger. Son Gohan didn't really die. Ding! Found a bindable host, system binding, binding completed. Self-testing in progress. Ding! After testing, the system is normal. Comprehensive testing of the host. 10%, 50%, 99%, ding! It was detected that the host's physical body was severely damaged, and the functions of all aspects continued to decline. Please repair it quickly, ding! The host does not respond. It is detected that the life energy is continuously passing, and after 3 minutes, the host will really die, ding! If the host does not respond, the self-rescue mode is automatically activated. The only passive self-rescue consumed this time, absorb all the energy around the host to repair the physical body, absorb all the energy around the host for mental recovery, ding! A violent conflict between the soul and body was detected, automatically repair, forcibly open fusion. 10%. 50%. 99%. Ding! Fusion is complete. Accompanied by the continuous sound of machinery, in the depths of Son Gohan's heart, the two soul bodies in the subconscious world are fused together by a magical force and become a new soul body. Consciousness continued to recover, and the severe pain from the brain gave Son Gohan signs of sobriety. Nearly a full minute passed before this tingling feeling that penetrated deep into the bone marrow consciousness gradually disappeared. Slowly opening his eyes, Wu Fan closed his eyes again and tried to get used to the hazy world. Wu Fan? That's right. He is Wu Fan, a promising young man of the 21st century. Now he is Son Gohan. Died after a car accident, was brought to the Dragon Ball world by the system, and became Son Gohan, who was killed by Android 17 and 18. Opening his eyes again, the picture in front of him gradually became clear, and the rain kept hitting his cheeks, making him feel the breath of life again. I didn't expect to travel to the future world of Dragon Ball, and become Son Gohan. System, are you cheating me? A dumbfounding idea was born in my mind, but now I can only accept it. Focusing his eyes, he looked at the boy beside him. That majestic breath, that terrifying power. With blonde hair and blue eyes, standing in this ruined doomsday world, he is really like a golden god of war, arrogant and invincible. It's a pity that being strong is powerful, but this powerful force is only for beings that cannot reach this realm. Just as he was about to speak, the pain from his body made Wu Fan, no. Make Son Gohan grin. It was also this sound that stimulated Trunks, who was still erupting. Gohan! Big brother! You are not dead. Great! Excited, with tears in my eyes. Trunks fell to his knees uncontrollably, trying to help Son Gohan up, but he didn't dare to act rashly. Fortunately, I almost died. Sure enough, I underestimated the power of artificial humans. Nodding his head, after getting used to the pain, Son Gohan reluctantly got up and sat up. If it hadn't been for the fusion that destroyed everything about Son Gohan, this pain, which was much stronger than being hit by a car, would have tortured him to death. System, you have turned on the self-rescue mode, so you can't be completely cured? Don't let me feel the pain. And this arm, can't it be restored directly? Can't help complaining in his heart, Son Gohan glanced at the broken arm on the left, wanting to cry even more. Ding! The system has tried its best to save the host, and the energy consumed has reached its peak, unable to continue to support the treatment of the host. Answer systematically, simply and simply. This also lets Son Gohan know that he has no way to continue to take advantage of the system. Returning to consciousness, Son Gohan looked at Trunks again, with a smile on his face. You finally have the power to be your own Super Saiyan and finally become. In a simple sentence, Son Gohan turned passive into active. Otherwise, he really didn't know what to say to Trunks. Even if fusion destroyed everything about Son Gohan, including memory. But in the end, Wu Fan's consciousness still dominates. Because Son Gohan is dead. Even if his soul body still exists, if it has not gone to the underworld, it will be in a state of deep sleep, which makes him the leader. Otherwise, even Son Gohan's broken soul is enough to crush the soul of an ordinary person to death. Of course, the system is the biggest key. Hearing Son Gohan's words, Trunks came to his senses, quickly helped Son Gohan up, and said at the same time, Brother Gohan, I thought you were dead just now, that's why you succeeded in transforming. From now on I fought side by side with you, Brother Gohan. Okay. Nodding slightly, Son Gohan did not answer. Fight together? Simply based on the current strength of Trunks, it is still far behind. The system comes with his ability, so that he can see the combat power index. This kid's combat power is only 100 million points in the Super Saiyan state. Even when it comes time for him to go back to the past, it seems that the super race is only 240 million points. Although the combat power of Android 17 and 18 is unknown, it is at least hundreds of millions. Even if the future time and space is weaker than the past time and space. As for his combat power, he can see it through the system interface, and the current normal state has reached 10 million points. It also means that his super race is at least 500 million. 250 million points stronger than Son Goku, who just returned to Earth in the past era. PS, new book upload. Ask for collection. Ask for a 10-point evaluation vote. Ask for flowers. New book upload. Ask for collection. Ask for a 10-point evaluation vote. Ask for flowers. New book upload. Ask for collection. Ask for a 10-point evaluation vote. Ask for flowers. Chapter 2. Thoughts returned, Son Gohan shook his head slightly. There are still many issues to consider now, and there are many things he has to do. Just crossing, he needs time to get used to it, time to analyze it, and even more time to fully recover. Let's go, leave this place first, in case Android 17 and 18 fight back. Even if I can fight one by one, you will become a Super Saiyan, but you will still be killed, said to Trunks. After saying a word, Son Gohan directly used flying technique to fly into the sky. There was no time for Trunks to react, but the kid wasn't so sluggish. But after a few seconds, he followed up. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, 2 days passed. Within the devastated and disconsolate western capital, the Magnum Capsule Company still exists. There are only people who live here, only Bulma in this time and space. Moreover, it lives underground to prevent persecution from artificial humans. In the room, Son Gohan tore off the bandages wrapped around his waist and face. After doing some simple activities and feeling the fully recovered body, he said to himself, finally, I have fully recovered. I recovered in 2 days, and my strength has also been greatly improved. Sure enough, Saiyan's body is terrifying. Said, walked to the mirror. Looking at the scars left on his face, the resolute and masculine face, Son Gohan carefully weighed it up. Should I say it is lucky or unlucky? These scars are only known now, the future you how hard. In this world, the strongest single fighter. Saiyan with bottomless potential. In the original book, you can't fully stimulate your own potential. Later, you became Nobihan, and now I am you. Can you fully develop it? How about this potential? Talking to himself, Son Gohan slowly clenched his right fist. Although one hand is missing, this strength will not be greatly reduced. Diverting his attention, Son Gohan returned to the bed beside him and continued to lie down, thinking. During these 2 days of recuperation, he has been thinking about the artificial man and what to do in the future. In simple words, he has now roughly figured out the strength of the man-made man and the fastest thing he can do. In the original book, Son Gohan, the broken arm of the future space-time, has the ability to deal with an artificial human with one hand, and can even kill an artificial human. But unfortunately, Trunks couldn't help in the final battle. One hit too, and the opponent had unlimited energy and physical strength, which led to Son Gohan's defeat. Combining these points, Son Gohan is enough to affirm that the strength of Android 17 and 18 in the future world is at most a combat power index of about 500 million. To be more transparent, the number 17 and number 18 in the future time and space actually no longer pose much threat to him. Because his current normal combat power index has reached 12 million points after his body has fully recovered. It is equivalent to becoming the first stage of the Super Tournament, and his combat power has been increased by 50 times, which is a full 600 million. This time the near-death resurrection, although it was treated with the help of the system, was still equally effective. The threat of number 17 and number 18 is indeed not great, but it still has to be stronger. In the future world, there is also Cell, and Majin Buu and Demon Lord Dabra in a few years will also exist. I have to find a way to make it stronger. This arm needs to grow back, otherwise, even if you become stronger, you will be limited to some extent, and it's okay to hit 1 against 1, but if you hit 2 or even 3 against 1, the disadvantages will be even more obvious. As a time traveler, he was also a fan author who was proficient in the plot of the Dragon Ball world in his previous life. He can think of many more points than ordinary people. It is a pity that the original book has too little description of the future time and space, and there are not many ways and means that he can find. The so-called long-term vision, the current artificial human crisis is in the next 10 years, it is nothing at all. What Son Gohan sees now is the future of the future world, the crisis brought by Black Goku and Zamasu. In the world of Dragon Ball, whether it is the main time and space or the partial time and space, the later each time and space reaches the later stage, the more powerful the enemies that appear will be. For now alone, he still has enough time. The more you think about it, the faster time passes. Before I knew it, another hour passed. The door of the room was opened, and Bulma, who looked a little old on the surface, walked in with a pot of porridge. In the past 2 days, I have completely gotten used to it. Compared with Bulma, who exudes youthful vitality in the main time and space, Bulma in this future world is obviously more haggard. But even so, she still looks like a natural beauty. Bulma aunt. Son Gohan stood up and greeted him politely. Hearing this, Bulma smiled and nodded. Looks like you're almost done, Gohan. As he said that, Bulma put down the pot in his hand, and couldn't help but sigh with emotion. It should be said that you are indeed Saiyan, your recovery ability is even more amazing than I expected. Originally, according to my speculation, you should be it will take a week to fully recover. That is also Jodeo who was taken care of by Bulma aunt. Without your care, I would not have been able to recover so quickly. Son Gohan replied. Haha. Sure enough, you are better at speaking. In this regard, your father can't compare to you. Bulma chuckled, and then found a seat to sit down. Eat quickly, after my body recovers, my stress can also be relieved. It has been relieved a lot, although Trunks kept talking about going out to find supplies, I was still worried about him, so I didn't let him go out without authorization. Son Gohan understood, nodding without ink. In fact, there are not many resources in the future world. Even if there are still many, they are all far away. The ones here in Zidu have actually been evacuated long ago. With the devastation of the 2 artificial humans, the future world is devastated, and the cities have been destroyed beyond sight. Not to mention, there is also the monster cell that hides in the dark. 70% of the human beings on the earth have died, and the biggest credit is still caused by him. Resources, food and water sources have been solved by Son Gohan all these years, so Bulma has already relied on him. While eating the porridge in the pot, Son Gohan continued to think about other things. He didn't notice a subtle change in Bulma's eyes. If Sun Jun is still there, maybe there will be no such troubles now, and all the pressure will not be on you. It's great that you didn't get killed this time, Gohan. After a while, as long as you give me a little more time, I can create a time machine. When the time comes, Bulma's mind became heavier and heavier. She wants to change the past. Change the future. It started with Son Goku's viral heart attack. 20 years ago, she was helpless. However, after 20 years of time, she has absorbed countless medical knowledge, coupled with the hard research of countless people, and now she has a special medicine. As long as Son Goku doesn't die, many tragedies won't happen again. Chapter 3. After finishing the porridge in the pot, Son Gohan put it down gently. After thinking about it for a while, although he was not full, he nodded with satisfaction. The food in the world of Dragon Ball, even this simple porridge, is not ordinary delicious. Far from being comparable to his previous world. Turning his head and looking at Bulma, Son Gohan didn't care about what Bulma was thinking at this time. He opened his mouth and asked, "By the way, Bulma aunt, I want to ask, is the gravity training room used by Vegeta uncle still available now?" Gravity training room. Hearing this, Bulma was taken aback. Wei Wei opened his mouth. Don't you want to use the gravity training room to cultivate? I remember that many years ago you said that everyone's cultivation method is different, even if you use Vegeta's method, there is no way to make you stronger. Indeed, that's what I thought at the time. Son Gohan nodded. But now, the situation forces me to find a new way. It can be said that I lack pressure, and I need to use pressure to release my potential and make myself stronger. After going through this battle, I am more aware that my strength is no weaker than Android 17 and 18. But I'm just one person, and they have infinite energy. Besides, because of the previous battle, I lost one arm. If I still have two arms, so, I must be stronger. Only then can I completely suppress them. Son Gohan looked serious. Immediately afterwards, he spoke again, "As for Trunks, I hope to continue to practice with me. Only in this way can we be sure that nothing will go wrong. Therefore, if it can be used, the gravity training room will be of great help to us now." After a long speech, Bulma also saw some hope. At least, Son Gohan was honest and said that androids are not really invincible. Even so, this time it was a fiasco. I see. I will find a way. Although it is now abandoned, if it is remodeled and refurbished, it can be used again. Nodding, Bulma hesitated for a while, and continued to speak. The difficult thing is that once the gravity training room is operated, a huge amount of energy is required. If this energy is only maintained by electricity, there is no way under the current situation. With Bulma's IQ, this problem is a small problem, but without materials, there is no way for Bulma to solve it. In terms of energy, are there any other materials that can be substituted? Just let me know if Bulma aunt needs anything, and I'll get it. Sure, Son Gohan said. As expected of Goku's son, you have inherited your father's hot-blooded training personality. If you find a method, you want to implement it immediately. Now the earth can only rely on you. I will give you a list later, and you have to search for it in various cities. Although you are capable, I still want to remind you to be careful in everything. Bulma revealed an expression of relief. She hopes that Son Gohan can take good care of his body and be careful. Since Son Goku and Vegeta, and others died, Son Gohan is the last relative. 2 years ago, Shishi was still alive and had someone to talk to, but in an accident, Shishi also died, which left her alone. Others don't know what Son Gohan has gone through, but Bulma has seen it all. This child climbed back from the brink of death several times and became stronger and stronger, but he also lost the innocence and laughter he once had, and became a warrior who provoked the leader. I know, don't worry, Bulma aunt. Hearing this, Son Gohan nodded his promise. Then, I'll get to work first, and you'll have to help me persuade Trunks later, because this kid turned into Super Saiyan, he's clamoring to seek revenge on the artificial man. Bulma suddenly changed the subject, let Son Gohan a little dumbfounded. Sure enough, it's as stupid as the original. Trunks is good at everything, that is, innocence and simplicity. If it weren't for his arrogance that he thought he could do it, he wouldn't be played by the artificial man. Understood, and it is indeed necessary to train him well. After half an hour, saying goodbye to Bulma, Son Gohan took the initiative to set off with Trunks to the nearest city to find available supplies. At present, all kinds of food and water sources are needed, especially after entering the state of cultivation. There is no time to come out and look for them. Therefore, this time it is necessary to get more than 1 month's ration. Speaking of which, fortunately, I got the memory of the original body, so I know where to go to get what I want. Otherwise, it will be troublesome. But in just a few hours, wandering through several cities in the south, intentionally avoiding the artificial man's route, Son Gohan and Trunks found a large amount of supplies they needed. After that, Son Gohan took Trunks to a deserted island off the coast of the south. Brother Gohan, what did you bring me here for? Do you need to look for something special? Trunks asked curiously. After I came out, I only talked about looking for supplies, but didn't talk about other points. So he doesn't know anything. For Bulma's sake, educate Trunks? For Son Gohan, yes and no. He also wanted to test the system's capabilities. Therefore, Trunks is needed as a test object to help test. I heard from Bulma Aunt that you can't wait to get revenge on the androids. This kind of courage is really commendable, but as your eldest brother, you can also be regarded as half of your master. I want to see if you have this ability. Son Gohan said to Trunks, with a serious expression. When he got the answer, Trunks didn't react at all. He didn't understand the meaning of Son Gohan's words at all. I just thought that this was my elder brother wanting to prove his own strength. Hey! Brother Gohan, then you have to watch it. After transforming, my strength has become dozens of times stronger. Confidently rubbing the bridge of his nose, Trunks impatiently used his normal strength liberated. Like a suffocated rabbit. Indeed, this is in the memory of the original Son Gohan, and he was just as impetuous after his transformation. Saiyans' transformation is too powerful. Once transformed, it will increase the limit, which is beyond my imagination. It is indeed quite astonishing power, but it is not enough at this level. Transform into Trunks, here you don't have to worry about being discovered by artificial humans. Feeling the strength of Trunks, Son Gohan he smiled and said. At the same time, his eyes narrowed, and he saw the value through the system. It's not much different from 3 days ago, and it's still a normal combat power of 2 million points. After transforming, no surprises, it is still 100 million points. Chapter 4. I see, Brother Gohan. Hearing Son Gohan's words, Trunks nodded directly. The feeling of becoming a Super Saiyan wells up in my heart, the transformation and sublimation that runs through the soul. The strength swelled tremendously, and his emotions fluctuated violently. The veins on Trunks' forehead burst out, and his whole body's momentum ushered in a qualitative leap in an instant. Ah! A burst of hysterical shouts erupted with majestic momentum, and the aura around him changed from white to golden. At the same time, Trunks' lavender hair stood up and turned golden. The wind is surging and the earth is trembling. With the sharp increase in power and the rapid increase in the combat power value, Trunks has once again entered the state of the first level of Super Saiyan. Breaking through the original limit, Super Saiyan's combat power increased by 50 times the normal initial stage of the first stage, raising his combat power value to the node of 100 million. How is it? Brother Gohan. Now I can control the transformation and make myself stronger. Super Setnix with a slightly excited expression said to Son Gohan. Seems like it can't wait to be praised. In response, Son Gohan sneered in his heart. After all, this super tournament is really weak. It is not as good as Frieza's final 120 million combat power. Thinking this way in his heart, it is naturally impossible to express it. Son Gohan nodded, and said, not bad. After all, without giving Trunks a chance to answer, he said again, remember how you feel now, don't forget it. At the same time, restrain your excitement that you don't care about everything. Super Saiyan is powerful, but you are not invincible now. So, don't let anger completely swallow you up. This is a harsh criticism, and after absorbing Son Gohan's memory and everything, the subconscious mind wants to take care of Trunks. Well, I see, Brother Gohan. The corner of his mouth frowned, and Trunks' eyes showed fighting spirit and anticipation. Say Brother Gohan, you should transform too. Now I am also a Super Saiyan, and I will never again holding you back. In the past, he couldn't become Super Saiyan, he could only look up at Son Gohan's back all the time. It's different now, he's become Super Saiyan. He didn't know how ignorant he was. He is still young, and he hasn't experienced enough beatings. He doesn't know how powerful Super Saiyan is. It doesn't mean that you are really powerful after transforming. Normal strength is the key to determining the upper limit of Super Saiyan. If Trunks' normalcy is stronger, it will also make Son Gohan pay more attention. Are you already in such a hurry? That's fine, then I'll let you take a good look. The corners of his mouth rose and fell slightly, and Son Gohan began to release the power in his body. Although fusion has changed everything about Son Gohan, it is the first time for Son Gohan now. The golden energy flames radiated from the inside out, and in less than a second, he directly changed from normal to the first level of Super Saiyan. The process of transformation alone revealed the gap between the two of them. The transformation of the former requires a certain amount of time to shake forward, and it is not even 100% sure that it will succeed. The transformation of the latter is just a moment, a thought. In terms of mastery of transformation and control of energy, Trunks is naturally incomparable with Son Gohan. A novice is always a novice. The control of energy was almost perfect. Son Gohan's eyes fixed on Trunks. Come on, Trunks. Okay. Brother Gohan, I am also a Super Saiyan now, you have to be careful. After the words fell, Trunks' heart swelled extremely. Disillusioned, as fast as lightning, Trunks rushed to Son Gohan in a thunderous manner. The iron fist wrapped in golden flames slammed towards Son Gohan head-on as if with a mighty force. Boom! There was a muffled sound. This powerful and heavy blow caused the space to tremble, and the invisible impact even shattered the ground under his feet. Trunks' full blow was held in the palm of Son Gohan's hand, and he couldn't move any further. Just as he was about to fight back, Son Gohan suddenly froze for a moment. Because at this time, a system notification sounded in my mind. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Trunks, successfully convert energy points, 100,000 points. Just like this, can they be absorbed? Or is it because this kid doesn't know how to control power, so he radiated too much power? With a thought, Son Gohan narrowed his eyes and had an idea. At the moment of thought, the outside time has passed for a few seconds. After being caught in the fist, Trunks made another punch. Bang! A bang! A punch, and this time Son Gohan didn't catch it. However, it was not hit head-on. It's amazing, you boy, you are indeed stronger than before. Son Gohan couldn't help but praise. In fact, he sensed it the moment Trunks attacked. If there is still a hand, it can be blocked, but his arm is gone. And this is the biggest weakness of missing an arm. Brother Gohan, you should fight me more seriously. I didn't show my full strength just now, and now I am a Super Saiyan just like you. Seemingly aware of Son Gohan's contempt, Trunks said with a slightly displeased face. Super Saiyan also gave his character an arrogant turn. Then, I'll be a little more serious. The corner of his mouth frowned, and Son Gohan took the initiative to attack the moment he finished speaking. Travel like the wind, fast like electricity. In just one breath, he landed in front of Trunks, clenched his right fist, and swung out with one blow. The power, speed, and power of this blow made Trunks' pupils constrict suddenly, and he had no time to react. When the fist was about to hit Trunks in the face, Son Gohan stopped in time. The strong fist brushed against Trunks' face and blown his blonde hair. Now you know, what is the gap between the same Super Saiyan. Trunks, it is inevitable to become stronger after transformation, but as I said before, transformation does not mean absolute. Max calmed down, Son Gohan chuckled. At this moment, cold sweat dripped down Trunks' forehead, and then, aggrieved and angry in his heart, he waved his big hand, slapped Son Gohan's fist away, and launched a strong and violent offensive instead. He doesn't believe it. I have transformed myself, but there is still such a big gap. With the combination of fists and feet, the power contained in each move is extremely powerful, enough to overwhelm mountains and seas. But Trunks's attacking methods were chaotic, every move and every style had fatal flaws. Son Gohan took the move unhurriedly, and easily deflected all of Trunks' attacks with just one hand. How so? My attacks, all failed. All attacks were either dodged or blocked, which caused a huge change in Trunks' mentality. His self-esteem was hit to a certain extent. Chapter 5. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Trunks, successfully convert energy points, 100,000 points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Trunks, successfully convert energy points, 150,000 points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Trunks, successfully convert energy points, 200,000 points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Trunks, successfully convert energy points, 200,000 points. In his head, the sound of the system kept ringing, which made Son Gohan not pay attention to the situation of Trunks at this time. For Son Gohan, Trunks is now a money-making machine. Every time there is a collision, the energy released by Trunks during the battle will be actively absorbed by the system and converted into energy points. These energy points can help him exchange for what he wants in the system. Skills, items, props, even god skills, laws, and even things from other worlds. Now I probably understand how the system judges energy and converts energy points. Thinking inwardly, Son Gohan just came back to his senses. Looking ahead, he saw Trunks' aggrieved appearance. Attacks are messy and irregular. Super Saiyan's emotions influence your judgment. There are too many loopholes, Trunks. Regardless of Trunks' depressed mood, Son Gohan did not hesitate, and raised his hand. A heavy punch hit Trunks in the stomach. Bang! For this blow, he only used less than 1/10 of his strength. Just 1/10 of this made Trunks' face change drastically, and he spit out sour water. Puff! Trunks, who was hit hard, flew upside down like a kite with a broken string. Not only was the saliva splashing, the screams continued, but the blood in his body was churning non-stop. Trunks had never experienced this level of severe pain, and it was so painful that he would not be able to recover for a while. He tightly covered his abdomen with his hands, and cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Fortunately, with the first level form blessing of Super Saiyan, his physical strength has also increased. Otherwise, if he was in his normal state, he would have passed out directly under the power of this blow. It hurts. But, Brother Gohan, you are still merciful. The sharp pain did not dissipate, and Trunks gritted his teeth to support his body and stood up. The confidence in his heart was completely shattered by this punch. Super Saiyan doesn't mean that he is invincible at all, it doesn't mean that he is the same as Big Brother Gohan. This is just the beginning. After mastering this power, he is only slightly stronger. It seems that you have understood a little bit, Trunks. As long as you don't have this overconfidence and arrogance, you will be stronger. Next, use all your energy to launch the strongest trick to attack me. After preaching to Trunks for a while, Son Gohan revealed his final plan. My strongest attack. Hearing this, Trunks was taken aback. He knows how weak he is now, and how big the gap is with Big Brother Gohan. However, if it is just taken out like this, even Brother Gohan will not be able to bear the injury, right? What's more, he also felt that Brother Gohan's injury could not be repaired so quickly. Seeing Trunks' hesitation, Son Gohan smiled lightly. You don't have to worry about any damage your strongest blow will bring to me, just do it. You also have to know that facing anyone you can't be distracted easily. Once I have the intention to kill you, you will be dead by this time. Okay, okay. Brother Gohan, you have to be careful. After hesitating for a moment, Trunks stopped writing. He raised his hand, and under the control of his mind, all the energy gathered from his whole body into his palm. Wang! The golden light condensed in the palm, and the energy intensity was continuously superimposed. The energy of hundreds of millions of combat power is indeed no longer comparable to the previous attack. Let the horse come here. The corners of his mouth rose and fell slightly, and the goal was achieved. Son Gohan felt the power of this energy and began to look forward to it. Of course, he is 100% sure to resolve it perfectly. Moreover, he also taught Trunks Nirvana, and no one knows better than him where the magic flash is. When the energy was accumulated to the extreme, Trunks shouted loudly, "Be careful, this is the magic flash of all my energy." As soon as the words fell, Trunks shot out a golden energy beam with both hands, and its destructive power reached the point of destroying stars. The golden electric current lingers on the energy beam, and it kills Son Gohan like a bamboo shoot. Facing this terrifying energy light, Son Gohan raised his right hand without dodging, his palm expanded, and his whole body gathered together. Boom! A bang! The magic flash collided with Son Gohan's palm, and a series of powerful electric sparks were shot out, destroying this huge island. Gunpowder smoke filled the air, dust was flying, and Son Gohan was completely enveloped in smog. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Trunks, successfully convert energy points, 8 million points. The system's notification sound came again in my mind, and the number of system point conversions this time was even more astonishing. Even Son Gohan didn't expect to get so much with just one click. You played well, Trunks. I was a little more serious about the last shot just now. Son Gohan's voice came from the smog, and the golden flame surged in the next second, dispelling the thick smoke around him. Having withstood Trunks' full blow from the front, he still stood intact. It can be seen how big is the gap between them. My magic flash was dispelled so easily. You are really too strong, brother Gohan. The scene in front of him left Trunks dumbfounded. He now understands his stupidity. Brother Gohan is so strong, he still wants to seek revenge from the artificial man, that is totally looking for death. I hope you can understand a truth, Trunks, Super Saiyan is not really invincible. Bulma Aunt told me that since you became Super Saiyan, you want to defeat artificial humans with your own strength. I can tell you clearly that with the current you, even if you go there, you will seek your own death. And this is the reason why I am fighting with you now. You don't need me to say anything, you will understand. Son Gohan sternly reprimanded Road. I got it. Trunks was disappointed with his own strength. I have been pursuing for a long time, and now I have achieved it, but I still can't do what I want to do. Lost is inevitable. Don't be discouraged, this is just the beginning. I believe you are far from reaching your limit. Next, practice hard with me. Seeing Trunks' thoughts, Son Gohan said again. Practice together. Trunks was a little puzzled. Is it possible that after becoming a Super Saiyan, you can continue to become stronger? It's not that he hasn't done pure cultivation before. Compared with transformation, it's far behind. Chapter 6. Half an hour later. Universal Capsule Private Estate on the ground floor. After giving the universal capsule containing the supplies to Bulma, Son Gohan also got the list of materials compiled by Bulma. To be honest, for Son Gohan, the materials on this list are not particularly rare and difficult to find, but it is really necessary to run in various cities, go to the shops and factories that sell materials to collect them. In general, I still have to say that if there were no artificial humans, as long as Bulma made a phone call or gave an order, countless people would deliver these things to their door. Brother Gohan, are we going to collect these materials now? Why would Mom suddenly want to collect these things? Trunks asked ignorantly, knowing nothing. Hearing this, Son Gohan smiled lightly, and did not go into further explanation, but said, you don't need to participate in collecting these materials for the time being. As for the usefulness, you will know in the future. In short, it will play a big role in our future's help. Hey? Then I can't go with Brother Gohan. Trunks was a little disappointed. At the same time, he is also very aggrieved. In the past, he was always restricted in his actions because of his lack of strength. Now that he has a certain strength, even if he is still weak, he is still restricted. Your task now is to stay here and protect Bulma Aunt. Trunks, you have to know that it's okay for us to leave at the same time in a short period of time, but if you leave for too long, you imagined that Bulma Aunt was discovered by artificial humans, then what will happen to her? To get rid of Trunks' following and also get rid of this kid's dependence on himself, Son Gohan said, turning the corner. The words also obviously had an effect, causing Trunks to fall into silence directly. I know you really want to go out now, but it's not the time yet. After this confrontation between you and me, I believe you have already known your own shortcomings. While looking at Trunks, Son Gohan said, so you have to stabilize your mentality yourself, so that your strength will become stronger. After all, Son Gohan raised his hand and patted Trunks on the shoulder. This move was actually an instinctive one. Even Son Gohan himself didn't think of it, so he naturally launched an educational model for Trunks. Hearing such words, Trunks' mood seemed to have changed, and he seemed to have figured it out. I see, Brother Gohan. Then if you meet Android 17 and 18 alone. Before he finished speaking, Son Gohan sneered, don't worry, I lost last time because of my lack of ability. But this time, even if they meet artificial humans, they can't do anything to me. Maybe you don't know the characteristics of our Saiyan. After recovering from a serious injury, your strength will increase greatly. After finishing speaking, Son Gohan smiled brightly. Saiyans' characteristics. Trunks looked confused. Because he had never heard of this feature. Even if brother Gohan trained him before, he never mentioned it. When I come back, I will tell you everything about our Saiyan. No more words, even knowing Trunks was curious, but Son Gohan left directly. Leaving Western capital, go to Kasi City, which is the closest. High in the air. While flying, Son Gohan tried to communicate with the system. He didn't have time before, but now he has enough time to study the system in depth by himself. System, open the system wall. With a silent recitation in his heart, suddenly, strange changes seemed to have taken place in this world. In front of his eyes, a special interface appeared, as magical as an AR game interface. Items appeared on the list, and at the same time, there was a data interface on the right-hand side, showing his personal attributes and energy points. Host, Son Gohan, age, 27, bloodline, Scion of mixed blood of Earthlings, special, normal combat power index, 12 million points. Currently holding system energy points, 8.75 million points. Mall list. Recommended exchange, physical strengthening potion, after use, it can increase the host's physical strength to a certain extent, required energy points, 100,000 points. Strength enhancing potion, after use, it can increase the physical strength of the host to a certain extent, required energy points, 100,000 points. Speed enhancement potion, after use, it can increase the host's agility speed to a certain extent, required energy points, 150,000 points. Perception enhancement potion, used to improve the host's perception ability to a certain extent, required energy points, 200,000 points. At a glance, the first thing you see is a bunch of props recommended by the system that can strengthen you. To be honest, I am no stranger to these things, because Son Gohan is a time traveler after all, has he never eaten pork or seen a pig running? Naturally, these things are not in the eyes of Son Gohan, because eating these things with his current strength is certainly effective, but the effect will definitely not be great. Rewards and contributions are often equal. What he wants is something that can quickly improve his combat effectiveness. Hey! Even fairy beans. Seeing the first item that can be redeemed on the main page of the system wall, Son Gohan's attention was directly caught. Xiandu, living dead, flesh and bones. The user can recover all his injuries, as long as he has a breath, he can be saved, required system points, 10,000 points. Only need 10,000 energy points. It can be exchanged for fairy beans. This is fairy bean. A must-have healing fetish after battle. This broken left arm, Son Gohan has thought about how to recover. Xiandu was the first thing he considered. But the fairy bean in the future world has long been extinct. Otherwise, the battle in the future world would not be so difficult. Change, or not. The loss of my left arm will weaken me too much, but... Subconsciously, Son Gohan wanted to redeem the celestial beans to restore himself, but he hesitated again. Since there are celestial beans that can be exchanged, he can recover at any time. If you are in a hurry, you will miss the current opportunity. With one arm missing, the strength he cultivated can reach a certain level, and when the left arm is restored, the increase in his strength will be even greater. Hey! This is... Seeing something unbelievable, Son Gohan was startled. The 5 large characters on this product attracted his attention deeply. Combat Power-Up Card. Chapter 7. Unexpectedly. There is such a thing. Damn. System, there are such good things, why don't you put them in the recommendation list? Fortunately, he kept looking at the things in the mall, and he was also seriously analyzing them. It is not like before that there is no energy point, just skip it casually. If you miss this, it will be the biggest loss. Ding! The system mall will recommend some special items, props, skills, etc. every once in a while. During the recommended period, the price will drop significantly. Once you leave the recommendation list, the required energy points will return to the original price. The sound of the system was transmitted to the ears, which made Son Gohan understand that the recommended settings were like this. So, if I buy the recommended things, I will only make money, not lose money. Ask again, if yes, then it is indeed necessary to take a good look at what you need. Ding! The host chooses by himself, and there are restrictions on the number of items, props, skills, etc. that are recommended for exchange, and they cannot be exchanged without limit. Is there still a quantity limit? This wave of settings surprised Son Gohan again. Sure enough, the system is not a philanthropist, it only does some small welfare. The so-called merchants seem to be like this. Give you a little sweetness first, let you know that this thing is easy to use, and then set a purchase quantity limit. Once you still want it, you have to pay the original price. No longer obsessed with this aspect, Son Gohan turned his attention to the combat power upgrade card. This thing is the most important thing now. Level 1 Combat Strength Enhancement Card, randomly increases combat power by 1 point to 999 points, energy points required for exchange, 1000 points. Is there still a level division? Randomly increasing the combat power is equivalent to being lucky and increasing the peak value. If you are unlucky, you may only increase by 1 point. It really sucks. Read on. Level 2 Combat Power Up Card, randomly increases combat power from 1000 points to 9999 points, energy points required for exchange, 10,000 points. The price of the level 2 power up card is 10 times higher. The starting point has been increased to 1000 power. Muttering to himself, Son Gohan looked at the row of power up cards below. Level 3 Combat Strength Enhancement Card, randomly increases combat power by 10,000 to 99,999 points, energy points required for exchange, 100,000 points. Level 4 Combat Power Improvement Card, randomly increases combat power from 100,000 to 999,999 points, energy points required for exchange, 1,000,000 points. Level 5 Combat Power Up Card, randomly increases combat power from 1,000,000 to 9.99 million points, energy points required for exchange, 10,000,000 points. Level 6 Combat Strength Enhancement Card, randomly increases combat power from 10 million to 99.99 million points, energy points required for exchange, 100 million points. Seeing this, Son Gohan was already excited to a certain extent. Because this is equivalent to telling him that as long as he has enough energy points, he doesn't need to practice at all, and he can become stronger. And this is the highest level combat power improvement card he can see so far. Further down, there is also a riser card with a locked black interface. System, do I still need to unlock these locked combat power-up cards? Or do I need a special method? Son Gohan asked. Ding! Some products have a block setting. If the host's strength fails to meet the requirements, it will be in a blocked state. If the strength is reached, it will be automatically unlocked. I see. Having been explained, Son Gohan nodded. At least, this is not cheating. With a thought, Son Gohan already had an impulse, and his body also stopped, no longer moving forward. System, exchange for a level 4 combat strength upgrade card. With the 8.75 million energy points he currently holds, he is still willing to spend 1 million points to exchange for a try. Ding! The level 4 combat strength upgrade card was successfully exchanged, and the energy points of the host were deducted, 1 million points. The host can open the storage warehouse and use it directly. Host remaining energy points, 7.75 million points. Use the level 4 combat strength upgrade card. Without hesitation, after seeing the card lying in the warehouse item grid, Son Gohan directly used it. Ding! Successfully use the level 4 combat power enhancement card to randomly increase the combat power index, 500,000 points. As the system's notification tone fell, Son Gohan clearly felt a warm current coming from his body. As this warm current surged through his body, it finally completely merged into his body and became a part of him. The power really got stronger. So amazing! Son Gohan exclaimed. As he sighed, his own attribute interface also changed. The most important thing is that the normal combat power value has become 12.5 million. Although compared to his previous normal state, the combat effectiveness index of the 500,000 is just a drop in the bucket. But you must know that this slight gap will be magnified to the limit after it becomes Super Saiyan. Previously, he transformed into the first level of Super Saiyan on the basis of the normal 12 million, a 50-fold increase from the normal, which is enough to increase his combat power to 600 million. But now, his normal combat power value has reached 12.5 million. After becoming the first level of Super Saiyan, the normal 50-fold increase will increase his combat power index to 625 million points. 1 million energy points in exchange for 500,000 combat power, it's really worth it. Clenching his fists tightly, Son Gohan exited the system mall with a thought. Not continuing to exchange is not because he is not in a hurry to improve his strength, but because he still wants to continue to explore. And now, I'm not really in a hurry, I must improve my strength quickly. In a blink of an eye. 3 hours passed. Son Gohan did not deliberately avoid the artificial man's sight, and boldly searched for materials in various cities. Up to now, 90% of the materials on the list have been found. It's just the last one. Across the plains and mountains, descend to the destination. As soon as he came here, Son Gohan found strangely that the city was different from what he expected. It has not been destroyed, but there are no traces of living people. Looking around, there are all kinds of clothes such as tattered clothes, skirts, hats, etc. Could it be? Frowning, the first thing Son Gohan thought of was Cell. Because only he can cause such destruction. Be vigilant. Because once Cell is still here, it is indeed a bit of a threat to him. Chapter 8. I didn't expect to meet this guy, the culprit who caused the drastic reduction in the number of Earthlings in the future space-time world, Cell. Muttering something in his heart, Son Gohan looked around, and his breath perception continued to enlarge, but he didn't find any life. Not sure if Cell is still there, but don't take it lightly. If you are really here, I will take this opportunity to kill you. To prevent accidents in the future. Son Gohan muttered, and snorted softly. With his current strength, the Cell before evolution is simply not enough. The cells in this period only devoured the life energy of ordinary human beings, and their strength was at most between 100 million and 500 million, and it would never even reach 400 to 500 million. Otherwise, Android 17 and 18 have already been swallowed by him at this time. While concentrating, Son Gohan continued to gather the last material needed. At the same time, the next second Son Gohan moved on, it was on top of a building behind. A green-skinned insect man much larger than an adult is standing here. He was condescending, overlooking the figure walking on the street below. There is no doubt that he is the one who caused the entire population of this city to disappear. Cell. As the ultimate artificial man planned and grown by Dr. Ge Labo himself, he has the potential for unlimited growth. He is also a genetic mutant monster born from the cells of countless powerful warriors on the earth, as well as the cells of the frozen demons Frieza and King Cold. At this moment, he is still in the growth stage, and can only rely on the tail on his back to continuously devour human life energy to grow. The population of this city was reduced to his rations. At this moment, there was greed in his eyes, and the halazi slipped from the corner of his mouth. He took Son Gohan as his own prey. When he was just hatched, his combat power was almost the same as that of an ordinary adult, and he could only evolve by hiding in the dark and devouring the life energy of weak animals. When he was strong enough, he began to hunt and kill humans. He had been dormant in the dark for a long time and developed wretchedly. After devouring countless humans, he had evolved to an unimaginable height. It is almost comparable to the combat power of 2 artificial humans. Humph! I didn't expect to meet you here. Son Gohan, you are lucky not to be killed by number 17 and number 18. But now you meet me, it is your misfortune. As long as you absorb without you, I can devour number 17 and number 18 and evolve into a perfect body. The greedy Cell's eyes were full of anticipation and longing. To be honest, he knows that Son Gohan is very strong, but now Son Gohan has only one hand left, and the threat is greatly reduced. Of course, he would not know that he regarded Son Gohan as prey, and Son Gohan also regarded him as a target that must be killed. Concealing his own breath, Cell hides in the dark and quietly follows Son Gohan, looking for the best opportunity. Cell didn't know, he hid well, but was found out anyway. On the cultivation of Chi, Son Gohan has already reached a certain level. Come yet. The perception is infinitely magnified. Although there is no accurate breath lock, Son Gohan can clearly feel that there is something following him behind him. The corners of the mouth rise and fall slightly, it's great that the Cell is really here. Continue to walk forward, and invisibly exposed a flaw to Cell. Opportunity. The opportunity for a sneak attack was right in front of him, how could Cell let it go so easily? In a flash, the strange-shaped body shot out like a cannonball. Coming down behind Son Gohan in an instant, the needle-like hole at the tip of the slender tail exuded a cold light, stabbing towards Son Gohan's back. Finally, let me wait for the opportunity, Son Gohan, I've been coveting your life essence for a long time, and now it's all mine. With a loud shout, a frenzied look flashed in Cell's eyes. The needle at the tip of the slender emerald green tail pierced directly through Son Gohan's body in front of him. Ha 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 ha. Thinking he had succeeded, Cell laughed like crazy. What are you laughing about? Parasite. Son Gohan's voice sounded, and Cell's laughter stopped abruptly. He didn't realize what was going on until he saw the Son Gohan pierced by him in front of him gradually disappearing. After image. How is it possible? You have already spotted me. The attack failed, and Cell immediately realized what was going on. His existence was discovered by Son Gohan a long time ago, and the other party was just acting with him all the time. This city is deserted, but it hasn't suffered much damage. You must be the culprit who caused this tragedy. Son Gohan said with a murderous look on his face. Cell is an unstable factor, the sooner it is resolved, the better. Hey hey! You are right, that is my masterpiece. You escaped, but you are doomed to die. With a strange and sinister smile, Cell turned around. Correcting his posture, he weighed Son Gohan with his eyes, and said curiously, I hide my aura very well, since when did you discover me? The moment you showed your killing intent. Son Gohan explained unhurriedly. I see. I underestimated you. You are worthy of being the son of Son Goku. Even if you lose an arm, you should not be underestimated. Cell mocked. Is this your last words? Secretly mobilizing the energy pool in his body, Son Gohan's aura gradually changed from white to golden. Feeling the soaring breath of Son Gohan, the greed and longing in Cell's eyes became stronger. His intuition told him that devouring Son Gohan would bring unexpected surprises. As everyone knows, he is just a clown in the eyes of Son Gohan. Staring at Cell with stern eyes, the value of Cell's combat power at the moment appeared in Son Gohan's eyes. 350 million points. The strength of Cell in this period is still a little behind Android 17 and Android 18. It's an amazing breath, but it's a pity that he's about to die. Cell sneered confidently. Hey! With a playful smile on his face, Son Gohan took his time and gradually increased the intensity of his breath. While his combat power value keeps rising, Cell still looks at ease and leisurely. It seemed that everything was under his control. But as the intensity of Son Gohan's aura climbed higher and higher, Cell's face gradually became serious. Now, do you think you can still kill me? With a cold smile, Son Gohan fully exploded the energy in his body. Boom! A loud bang. The 625 million combat power of the first level of Super Saiyan was revealed. When this unimaginably tough aura was revealed, Cell's complexion changed, turning livid, uglier than shit. Impossible! How could your aura be so strong? After carefully feeling Son Gohan's aura that was so strong against heaven, Cell was no longer as confident as he was at the beginning. Instead, it was full of shock and disbelief. This breath has completely thrown him away. Even, the strength has surpassed Android 17 and Android 18. Chapter 9. Seeing Cell's surprised and timid look, Son Gohan was amused. At the beginning, the other party regarded himself as a prey, but unexpectedly, in the end, he became a prey. A dying person doesn't need to know so much. Not wanting to talk too much nonsense, Son Gohan took the initiative to attack and threw a golden ball of light between his hands to kill Cell. Whoosh! There was a ripple in the space. Feeling the power of this energy light ball, Cell was shocked. Boom! A loud bang. The ear-piercing explosion brought a shocking shock to the extreme. The terrifying power caused the earth to tremble, billowing thick smoke rose from the ground, filled the air with gunpowder smoke and dust. Hoo! There was a sound of breaking through the air, and Cell's figure pierced through the haze and soared into the sky. With an attack of this level, how could it hit me? Cell sneered. Really? Son Gohan's sneer came from directly above. Hearing the sound, Cell's body trembled, and he raised his head subconsciously, his pupils shrank sharply, and his mouth opened wide. As early as the moment he acted, Son Gohan was here waiting for him. The right fist was clenched tightly, and the iron fist was wrapped in golden arrogance, and it swung out violently with unparalleled destructive power. Bang! There was a muffled sound, and the aftermath was surging, setting off layers of ripples in midair. This powerful blow hit Cell's face fiercely, the terrifying force distorted Cell's facial features and sent him flying heavily. The inverted Cell hits a building like a falling meteor. Boom! The deafening roar lingered in the space. Billowing thick smoke rose from the ground, and tall buildings fell straight down and fell into several sections. This is not over yet. Son Gohan was suspended in mid-air, raised his right hand, and held it with one hand, forming a blue light ball. The energy is continuously concentrated and compressed to the extreme. Throwing his big hand, the extremely compressed azure energy ball burst out, cut through the space, and rushed into the ruins. Boom! The energy exploded, and the aftermath engulfed a radius of nearly 100 meters. A huge mushroom cloud rises from the ground, and raging fire burns continuously among the piles of rubble. It's just an understatement of the power of a blow, so terrifying. Get out now! I know this move won't kill you. Son Gohan shouted with murderous intent in his eyes. He who has entered the combat mode is completely different from him before. Ruthless and decisive in killing. The virgin or something, that doesn't exist. As his words fell, a stream of golden light broke through the boulder, burst out from the raging fire, and attacked him. The figure inside the aurora is exactly Cell. At this moment, Cell has a ferocious face, purple blood slips from the corner of his mouth, and bloodshot eyes are all over his eye sockets. Son Gohan! I'm not as easy to deal with as you think. Furious, Cell rushed to Son Gohan, and the tail behind him launched a dense attack towards Son Gohan at a speed of about 100 times per second. Offensive. But if you get stuck, it will definitely not feel good. The attack looked fast and fierce, but Son Gohan handled it with ease. His figure is like a ghost moving through Cell's attacks. No matter how Cell attacks, he can't hurt him in the slightest. Humph! Boring! With a cold snort of disdain, Son Gohan, who couldn't bear it any longer, grabbed Cell's tail with one hand, and a terrifying force swept across Cell's whole body from the tail in an instant. Cell he grinned his teeth as it would hurt if he tried hard. Eye sockets were bloodshot, and Cell's heart was burning with anger. Before he could counterattack, Son Gohan started to move again. His right arm exploded with unrivaled power, driving Cell's body to dive down from the sky at super high speed. Cell, who lost control of his body, screamed in panic. Borrowing the power of the dive, Son Gohan smashed the Cell to the ground with all his strength. Boom! The power of one blow is so terrifying. The earth shattered, thick smoke rose, and the terrifying impact spread across Cell's internal organs in an instant. The severe pain made Cell unable to recover in one breath, and purple blood spurted out from his mouth. How could this be possible? I have devoured countless humans, so I should be stronger than him, and he is missing a hand. The severe pain made Cell's eye sockets bloodshot, and his whole body twitched non-stop. The unimaginable impact made it difficult for him to recover for a while. The bones and internal organs of his whole body seemed to be broken, and Cell's body was twitching continuously. Humph! A green-skinned bug is a green-skinned bug, is that the only way? Son Gohan condescendingly looked down on the green insect below him. His left foot stomped roughly on Cell's back, immobilizing him. The muscles in his right arm bulged, and blue tendons hovered over his arm muscles like a dragon, and the terrifying power spread from the tail to Cell's whole body. Ah, ah, ah! The severe pain stimulated Cell, making him howl hoarsely. Slaw! Accompanied by the sound of flesh and blood being separated, purple blood spilled all over the ground, and Cell's tail was torn off by Son Gohan with one hand. His eye sockets were bloodshot, and blood continued to overflow from the wound left by the tail. Blood dripped on the ground, corroding the ground. Noisy thing! The loud howling in his ear made Son Gohan feel distraught. Lift your left foot and step on Cell's head. Boom! A bang! Cell's head was stepped into the ground by Son Gohan's foot, and his mouth was blocked by mud and gravel, so he could only falter and utter no sound. Finally, there was no sound, and Son Gohan looked sideways at the swaying tail in his hand, which was still active. Feeling sick in my heart, I threw it away casually, and another energy bomb blew it into pieces. After dealing with the tail, Son Gohan refocused on Cell. It's time to send you to die. Looking at Cell, Son Gohan felt a burst of disappointment. I thought he would be stronger. Lift your foot and kick it flying like a soccer ball. The severely injured Cell was kicked tens of meters away, and his body rolled dozens of times on the dilapidated ground before stopping. Chapter 10. Being crushed and unable to fight back, the dizziness in Cell's mind continued to increase. He propped his hands on the ground, tremblingly trying to stand firm, but the injury was too serious. The face was torn apart by the punch, the bright red blood and muscle tissue were clearly visible, the tail was forcibly torn off, bloody, and there was a huge footprint on the back of the head. After just a few rounds of fighting, Cell thoroughly understood what he was in now. This broken arm Son Gohan, even if he lost a hand, it is by no means an existence he can easily deal with. But even so, he didn't intend to give up just yet. The ability to destroy one's own cells belongs to the regenerative ability of the Namek people. Gulu gulu. The wound on Cell's tail squirmed, and the cells continued to divide and regenerate, which looked extremely terrifying. Puff. Under the gaze of Son Gohan, Cell's broken tail grew again. Not only that, but even the injuries caused by the previous attack were recovered. However, in contrast, Cell's aura also weakened. There is a price to be paid for the activation of the regenerative ability, and it is impossible to regenerate infinitely. Humph. This regenerative ability is very familiar, Son Gohan. Relieved, Cell turned around and grinned at Son Gohan, as if he had forgotten what he had experienced just now. On the other hand, Son Gohan, he is looking at Cell with the eyes of a fool. As a time traveler, he knows everything about Cell's abilities and how it was born. Just this clown, never knowing his own stupidity. So what, anyway, the end result is a dead end. Son Gohan said coldly. Hearing this, Cell gritted his teeth angrily, and his anger soared. I hope that after you have seen this move, you can still be as confident as you are now. After finishing speaking, Cell didn't want to continue talking nonsense, raised his right hand, put his index finger and middle finger together, and placed them on his forehead. The energy then converged to the fingertips, forming an energy cluster dancing with electric arcs. This posture, and this way of accumulating energy, makes Son Gohan emerge as Piccolo. This trick, I think you will never forget it in your life, Magic Gun Light Killing Cannon. With a wave of his right arm, the golden spiral energy light has the ultimate destructive power and penetration force, towards Son Gohan. If it is an existence of the same level, it must avoid its edge, otherwise it will be injured by this magic penetrating light killing cannon. But they were not at the same level from beginning to end. Facing the magic light killing cannon with boundless penetrating power, Son Gohan did not dodge or dodge, raised his right hand with a surge of breath, and with a random wave, the magic gun light killing cannonball flew into the sky. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Cell magic gun, and successfully convert energy points, 20 million points. Absorbing the energy of the magic gun, the corner of Son Gohan's mouth raised unconsciously. This time the harvest is quite rich, just met Cell, he got 20 million energy points at once. Son Gohan secretly delighted, while Cell was dumbfounded. This, impossible. My magic penetration light killing cannon is, unexpectedly. The nirvana was dispelled so easily, which made Cell's three views and mentality completely collapsed. This level of attack is not enough to tickle me. You are so disappointing, green-skinned bug. Son Gohan took this opportunity and mocked disdainfully. Stop pretending there. Son Gohan. Cell, furious, jumped up into the air, clasped his hands together to form a triangle, golden arrogance floated around his body, and the energy flowed with his thoughts. This move is exactly Tianjing Fan's famous stunt, Qigong Cannon. Qigong Cannon? I haven't seen it since Tianjing Fan died. Son Gohan couldn't help sighing. In the next second, Cell in midair had condensed the energy of the Qigong Cannon to the extreme. Accept the move. Qigong Cannon. With an angry shout from Cell, a triangular energy wave rushed towards Son Gohan in a covering range. Facing the energy light waves that cover the sky and the sun, Son Gohan smiled evilly, and his figure shuttled through the space like a ghost, cleverly and accurately dodging this devastating blow. At the same time, the system notification sounded again in his ears. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Cell Qigong Cannon, successfully convert energy points, 10 million points. Drink! It wasn't over yet, Cell in midair continued to work hard, and the Qigong Cannon bursts formed a covering attack on Son Gohan. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Cell Qigong Cannon, and successfully convert energy points, 5 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Cell Qigong Cannon, and successfully convert energy points, 5 million points. Ding! automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Cell Qigong Cannon, and successfully convert energy points, 5 million points. As the Qigong Cannon is released more and more times, the strength of Cell's breath is also decreasing at an alarming rate, and each release is a huge consumption for him. It was also at this very moment when Cell was trying his best, Son Gohan burst into the sky with a rage, turning into a thunderbolt and killing Cell. Oops! Oops! Cell suddenly felt bad. What greeted him was Son Gohan's fierce and sturdy offensive like a storm. Boom! LB! Boom! LB! Boom! LB! Boom! LB! Boom! LB! One after another, the soul-stirring sounds of piercing into the flesh continued one after another. Cell's body was covered with scars from being destroyed in just a few seconds. All kinds of fist marks spread all over his body, and every attack made him feel as if his body was about to be shattered, and the pain was unbearable. He seriously underestimated Son Gohan's combat power. Even if the opponent lost an arm, his strength is far from what he can compete with now. Damn it! If I knew it earlier, I shouldn't have provoked this guy. The life essence I have absorbed is still too little, and the current me is not enough to compete with him. Cell completely awakened, but unfortunately, it was too late. Bang! In midair Son Gohan landed on Cell's back with a whip leg spin. The cell that suffered the critical attack turned into a meteor and fell towards the ground again. The city below was also torn apart by the aftermath of their battle. With the impact of the cell again, the ground became covered in scars, and the cracks continued to spread in all directions like spider webs. P.S. Thank you for the support of 588 points. Chapter 11. Cell, who fell into the ruins, was covered in dust and rocks, and his scarred body twitched slightly in the haze. From the beginning of the battle to the present, he has been suppressed and hit to the extreme. From the beginning to the end, it was like a toy being played by Son Gohan in the palm of his hand. Damn, how could there be such a huge gap in strength? Even if I haven't devoured number 17 and number 18 to evolve into a complete body, my strength, at least should be on par with him. Cell set in the pile of rocks, he tried his best to stand up. The continuous suppression has already made him a little suspicious of life. Whoosh! A burst of piercing sound resounded. Son Gohan, who was in mid-air, crossed the space and descended to his side. Feeling the sharp cold light and killing intent spread all over his body, Cell trembled, and instinctively wanted to escape, but Son Gohan grabbed his tail again with one hand. Where do you want to run? A malicious smile appeared on Son Gohan's face, and in the next second, he exerted strength with one hand and waved Cell like a plaything. Unimaginable power spread throughout Cell's body, and the struggling Cell could only scream in panic, screaming again and again under Son Gohan's violent swing. Perhaps because he had played enough, Son Gohan threw Cell into the sky with a slam. The cell that was thrown out flew straight into the sky again like a rocket, and barely stabilized its body after flying upside down for nearly 1,000 meters, regaining control of its body. Damn it! Damn it! As the ultimate android's self-esteem was at stake, Cell felt extremely aggrieved. He believes that at the beginning of his birth, he is above all life forms, including Saiyan. Right now, just a mere Son Gohan can make him so miserable, which is too much for Cell's ego to accept. Damn Son Gohan! I'm going to make you pay. Anger filled Cell's heart, and he couldn't care less now. Steady on the horse in the void, clasped his hands together and put them on his waist, the energy flowed and mobilized crazily under his thoughts. Son Gohan! You must be very familiar with this trick, right? That's right. It's the Kamehameha wave your father used. I'll use this trick to kill you right now. Gathering all his energy, Cell it seems that he is very confident in his nirvana. Kamehameha wave, a nirvana created by Master Roshi, has been improved by Son Goku to become more powerful. The energy level of this move will be determined according to the strength of the user, and it can even reach the level of killing the enemy by leapfrogging. Son Gohan, who was on the ground, looked up at the cell emitting blue light in the sky, his expression unchanged. In his eyes, Cell's combat power value is rising at an astonishing rate. From the previous 350 million, it has skyrocketed to 400 million. Is this your last whole card? You are too disappointing. The corners of Son Gohan's mouth fluctuated slightly, and Son Gohan held it with one hand, and azure energy radiance also emerged in his palm. Look at this posture, it is also Kamehameha wave, he will use the same tricks to respond to Cell, let this guy understand what is the gap. Cell and Son Gohan performed the Kamehameha wave at the same time. Their energy index was soaring, spreading almost all over the world, and also attracted the attention of number 17 and number 18 in other cities. But the two of them couldn't take care of that much. Cell was already on top, and in order to avenge his shame, he gave it all up. Son Gohan wants to eradicate the scourge of Cell. Letting him live a little longer would bring unimaginable harm to the world. This is my Kamehameha wave that gathers all my energy. I launch it at this angle. If you avoid it, the entire planet will be destroyed in an instant. Awaken, Son Gohan. Until now, Cell also has a mysterious confidence in his moves. Accompanied by his cry, azure energy beams with endless destructive power shot out from his palm, and everywhere they passed, there were ripples in the space. The threat of this move, even the existence whose combat power value has reached the level of 500 million, has to avoid it. Unfortunately, Son Gohan is stronger. Short-sighted guy, see clearly before you die, what the real Kamehameha wave should look like. With a cry, Son Gohan pointed his right hand at the blue energy beam roaring like a mad dragon in the sky. Turtle.pi.chi.gong.wave. The extreme energy accumulated in Son Gohan's palm gushed out like an erupting volcano, expanding to 50 meters in diameter, driving blue and white arcs, cutting through the space, and colliding with Cell's Kamehameha wave. Boom! There was a loud bang. In an instant, the space distorted, and the deafening roar exploded violently. Shock waves visible to the naked eye spread in all directions. In an instant, the ground within a radius of tens of miles trembled and the air pressure was unstable at the same time. Countless rocks were stripped from the ground and torn apart by the terrifying air pressure. The two energies collided, seemingly on par, but Son Gohan's Kamehameha wave is gradually advancing, suppressing Cell's energy bit by bit. How is it possible? You only have one hand, it is impossible to exert the full power of the Kamehameha wave. Seeing his own Kamehameha wave being pushed back bit by bit, Cell panicked. He made every effort to increase the intensity of energy release in the body. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't change the situation that was about to lose. A dying person doesn't need to know too much, especially a bedbug like you, die. With an angry shout, Son Gohan increased the intensity of his energy release. In just a split second, the blue light in his palm flourished, and the energy light soared. The diameter of the Kamehameha wave also expanded from 50 meters to an even more astonishing 70 meters. The surge of energy reversed the situation in an instant, ruthlessly destroyed Cell's Kamehameha wave, and swallowed Cell's body in an instant. Boom long! The deafening roar lingered in the sky, and the shock waves visible to the naked eye were superimposed layer upon layer. Blue light bloomed in the sky, and the aftermath of the explosion set off layers of waves in the space. The blue stars scattered all over the sky, and Cell also disappeared without a trace in this explosion. Chapter 12. Looking up at the sky is full of blue particles falling like raindrops. Even though Cell had disappeared without a trace in the explosion and his aura had completely returned to zero, Son Gohan still maintained a high degree of vigilance. In order to really kill Cell, his core must be destroyed, otherwise there will be a possibility of recovery. Cut the weeds and eradicate the roots, otherwise there will be endless troubles. With the expansion of perception, Son Gohan's eyes became sharper, searching every corner carefully. If you miss this opportunity, I am afraid there will be no next time. Son Gohan didn't really settle down until a long time ago. With his perception, if Cell is really alive, he can't hide for so long. The cells in this world were indeed killed by him. When I came out this time, I not only found the materials I needed, but also solved a big problem. He said to himself. Suddenly, two auras appeared in Son Gohan's perception. No wonder there is such a big movement. I didn't expect you to be so lucky that you are still alive, Son Gohan. Come on, who is it not Android 17 and 18? After seeing Son Gohan in front of him, a playful smile appeared on No 17's face. The news that Son Gohan was still alive surprised him, but he was also very happy, because these boring days were too numb. He was also bothered about killing Son Gohan because there would be no more toys on Earth. Now Son Gohan is still alive, which is undoubtedly great news for him. Finally, the boring life can be made a little more interesting. Cyborg. Looking at number 17 and number 18 in front of him, Son Gohan narrowed his eyes slightly. This battle really attracted them. Although I don't plan to trouble them right now, it will be different if it is delivered to my door. Solve it together, completely eliminate the crisis, and restore peace to the world. Maybe he couldn't do it before, but now he can. Since you are still alive, why don't you just stay in hiding? You have to come out to die. Android 18 puts his hands on his hips, and his seemingly beautiful face is so harmless to humans and animals, but in the eyes of Son Gohan, such a smile seems like demons are generally cold. The numbers 17 and 18 of the future world are really different from those of the past. Death? From my point of view, it seems that you are here to die. Son Gohan looked serious, and his sharp eyes looked at them carefully. Their combat effectiveness index has already appeared in front of them. Android 17, the combat power value is 520 million points. Android 18, the combat power value is 480 million points. Your mouth is quite hard. Although I don't know who you were fighting just now, but this time you really have to die. The corners of the mouth rose and fell slightly, and Android 17 smiled playfully. In his eyes, Son Gohan is just a toy. A toy to satisfy their desire to destroy. So, the more Son Gohan is like this, the more excited he is. What are you talking about with him? Let him escape last time, just kill him this time. Are you still going to play cat and mouse game with him? No 17. Compared with the time and space in the past Android 18, the 18th of the future space-time is even more ruthless. Not only grumpy, but also murderous. Facing the elder sister with a strong killing intent, number 17 could only shake his head helplessly. He had no choice but to listen to what the elder sister said. The two androids stood together and raised their hands to point at Son Gohan at the same time. The energy formed a light wave in the palm, which was powerful enough to be comparable to the previous cell's Kamehameha wave. It's a pity, Son Gohan, it took so much effort to save his life. Number 17 showed a devilish and cruel smile. This time, no miracle will happen again, I will blow up your bones into ashes. Number 18 sneered. Loud noises lingered in my ears. Son Gohan smiled. Do you really think that I am still the same as before? After finishing speaking, a gleam of coldness appeared in Son Gohan's eyes. Such words obviously did not fall into the ears of number 17 and number 18. Because their attack has already been launched, and the momentum is so great that it overwhelms everything. The two energies merged into one while advancing, and their power increased rapidly. Faced with this powerful combo technique, Son Gohan did not dodge or dodge. He raised his right hand, and the energy in his body formed an indestructible protective barrier in front of him. Boom! The energy bombarded him, causing a violent explosion in an instant. The blazing fire spread, and a huge mushroom cloud rose into the sky. The air was filled with the smell of ashes from the explosion, and Android 17 and Android 18 seemed to enjoy this moment, laughing wildly. This is not over yet, the energy attacks of the two continued continuously, and amazingly destructive energy rays continuously shot out from their palms. Boom! 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 The impact of the explosion continued continuously, and the area covered by the flames and haze became larger and larger. At the center of the explosion, Son Gohan tried his best to gather energy and stabilize the protective barrier. While being beaten passively, the system's notification tone also sounded one after another. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Android 17 and Android 18 combo skills. Death Ray, and successfully convert energy points, 30 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Android 17, and successfully convert energy points, 6 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Android 18, and successfully convert energy points, 6 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Android 18, and successfully convert energy points, 6 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Android 18, and successfully convert energy points, 6 million points. Faced with unlimited energy, Son Gohan began to enjoy the pleasure of increasing energy points. Number 17 and number 18 are of unlimited energy type. As long as they continue to release energy, he can use the system's automatic absorption to exchange for energy points. Chapter 13. The scope of the explosion and the shock wave are endless, expanding at an astonishing speed. After the 17th and 18th continued to bomb for nearly a minute, they stopped there. It's really boring, even more boring than the last battle. After such a long round of bombing, he must have been smashed to pieces. Android 17 said rather disappointed, brushing his hair. He thought that Son Gohan had some strength and could bring him some fun, but he didn't expect that he died so easily under the joint attack of the two of them. Hey! Isn't this better? Anyway, I'm in a good mood now. Android 18 smiled with the corners of his mouth slightly up and down. You know, the last time she was injured by Son Gohan, and she was beaten miserably. If it wasn't for number 17 joining forces, she might be defeated. Really? In my opinion, we won't have any toys anymore. Number 17 murmured. What does it matter? Okay, Son Gohan is done, let's go to the next city. The new clothes we finally put on are dirty again. Number 18 complained. These words made number 17 want to cry but could only accept it passively. Just when they were about to leave. In the center of the haze of the explosion, came Son Gohan's deeply ironic voice. I thought how strong you guys could be. It turns out that it's only this level. It's really disappointing. Last time, you were even stronger. I heard that Android 17 and Android 18 have changed drastically. Boom. In the next second, a violent golden aura swept across all directions like a huge wave. The thick smoke was dispersed, and the rocks were wiped out. Son Gohan stood there intact, unbeatable like a god of war. After seeing Son Gohan's unharmed appearance, the faces of Android 17 and Android 18 changed again, with unbelievable expressions in their eyes. They joined forces with the idea of killing Son Gohan. It can be said that it is all efforts. The previous Son Gohan was beaten to the brink of death by their trick, but he was still alive for some unknown reason. If you've fought enough, it's my turn now. Ignoring the surprised expressions of the two androids, Son Gohan took the initiative to attack. With the legs accumulating power, he jumped, and his body turned into an aurora to shuttle through the space. Travel like the wind, fast like electricity. Son Gohan reached number 17 and number 18 in 0.1 seconds. All the strength in his body was concentrated in the right fist, and the fist was wrapped in golden arrogance, and he swung it out as if he had great strength. Nanny! Such a fast speed made number 17 feel bad. Before he could take a defensive stance, Son Gohan's iron fist had already struck. Bang! The soul-stirring sound of piercing flesh exploded in the space, and this powerful and heavy punch hit No 17's right cheek fiercely. The terrifying shattering force spread, and No 17's facial features were distorted. After being hit hard, he turned into a cannonball and flew hundreds of meters backwards, smashing countless ruined buildings. Number 17 was sent flying, and number 18 at the side finally came to his senses. In a panic, energy light waves condensed in his palm and shot towards Son Gohan's face. The energy attack at close range was slapped away by Son Gohan. Immediately afterwards, there was a burst of punching and kicking on the 18th. Although she is a female artificial human, her explosive power is not much weaker than that of number 17, and she has an advantage in speed, with swift and deadly moves. In a battle of the same level, it is difficult to defeat her. But the current Son Gohan is not at the same level as her. Lightly blocking and dispelling all the attacks of number 18, a sneer appeared on the corner of Son Gohan's mouth. In a blink of an eye, he teleported behind number 18, grabbed the other's golden hair with one hand, and smashed him hard towards the ground. Boom! A loud bang. The earth was hit hard and torn apart, and dense cracks appeared like spider webs, spreading in all directions. There is no sympathy in dealing with enemies, nor will they be merciful just because the other party is a woman. Drink! Shouted angrily. Son Gohan suppressed number 18 with one hand, and at the same time, the energy light waves condensed in his palm were released instantly. Boom! The energy released engulfed No 18's body in an instant, causing a huge explosion. Hot flames spread across the earth, and pitch-black gunpowder smoke shot straight into the sky. In the thick of the smoke, Son Gohan leapt into the air with a leap. Artificial man, it seems that I think highly of you. With my current strength, I am enough to crush you. Even if you have unlimited energy and physical strength. Son Gohan muttered to himself. In the next second, his keen combat intuition sensed an attack. Behind him, a golden energy ray came towards him. Precisely and deftly avoiding the blow, Son Gohan's eyes fell on number 17 who stood up awkwardly 100 meters away. This attack came from him. Seeing his distressed appearance, after being hit by a punch, he was obviously very angry. The decision is up to you. Locking on the target, Chow Sai's energy pool was mobilized at this moment. The golden flames radiated from the inside out, and Son Gohan went straight to number 17. Damn Son Gohan! It's just taking advantage of my unpreparedness, don't get too carried away. Number 17, who was burning with anger, waved his hands quickly. The eternal energy furnace in his body provided him with a steady stream of energy. In an instant, countless energy bombs spread all over the sky, blocking Son Gohan like a big net. Humph! Do you think this little trick can trap me? Under the siege of countless energy bombs, Son Gohan showed an extremely amazing fighting talent. His figure is as unpredictable as a ghost, and he can come and go freely like a fish in the water. No 17's energy attacks were all dodged by him ingeniously and precisely. Such a situation made number 17 angry. Die! Son Gohan! Putting his hands together, the energy bombs all over the sky were drawn, and they all retracted in one direction. This direction is exactly where Son Gohan is. Now, no matter how slippery his movements were, he couldn't dodge it. However, even if it cannot be avoided, there are other ways to solve it. Holding it with one hand, a blue light emerges in the palm of your hand. With a wave of the palm, energy poured out, sweeping tens of meters in front of him, forcing a path for himself. Boom! The flames of the explosion bloomed in the sky, and thick smog covered the sky 100 meters away. From the smog, the golden arrogance turned into an aurora and rushed towards number 17. How can that be? Seeing this situation, number 17 was shocked. He didn't understand why Son Gohan suddenly became so strong. Even in a single battle before, the disadvantage was not as huge as it is now. In the instant of 0.01 seconds, Son Gohan rushed to the front of number 17 with a fierce killing intent. His fist was wrapped in a golden breath, and his killing intent was high, and he killed it with an unstoppable power. Bang! An iron fist capable of destroying mountains was ruthlessly inserted into No. 17's belly. The whole body of number 17, who was hit hard, was severely twisted, bright red blood spurted from his mouth, and his eyes were slack. Chapter 14. The terrifying power made number 17 unbearable, but fortunately his body was hard enough. Otherwise, Son Gohan's powerful and heavy punch would have pierced his body in an instant. In addition to the pain on the 17th, Son Gohan's eyes changed again, and the energy of his whole body was mobilized by his thoughts and flowed rapidly. The violent punches and kicks fell like raindrops. Boom! LB! 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 There were layers of waves and ripples in the space. Son Gohan's feet and one hand combined to deal a fatal blow to Android 17 in all aspects. The power of each blow is enough to overwhelm mountains and seas. One of the chief culprits who brought disaster to the future world is now suppressed by Son Gohan and has no power to fight back. The clothes on his body were torn by the fist wind, his body was destroyed, and bright red blood overflowed from the wound. How is it possible? How could his strength have improved so much? This kind of pressure has never been experienced before in the battle. While being beaten, number 17 was doubting life. He can clearly feel that Son Gohan's various indicators have been improved. When he was dealing with Son Gohan alone before, he was still able to maintain a balance, and even continued to fight, steadily suppressing Son Gohan. At least, it won't be crushed as thoroughly as it is now. You're wondering why my strength has improved so quickly, right? Son Gohan said with a chuckle as he tortured number 17 with a cruel and evil smile on his face. Number 17, who was being beaten, tried to fight back, but no matter how he resisted, he couldn't escape from this fierce and terrifying offensive. Bang! With a powerful uppercut, it hit number 17 directly on the jaw. The terrifying power sent the opponent to a height of 100 meters. Damn, evil! The piercing pain surged in his heart, and number 17, who was burning with anger, forcibly stabilized the body that was flying upside down. Lifting his hands, the eternal energy furnace in his body was activated, forming a dense energy rainstorm. He tried in vain to use the energy offensive to repel Son Gohan, but he greatly underestimated Son Gohan's strength. Faced with this intensive energy attack, Son Gohan chose a violent single push, and the energy in his body formed an indestructible protective barrier around him. He rushed forward, ignoring the intensive energy bombardment of number 17. Ding! Automatically absorbed the energy dropped by Android 17, and successfully convert energy points, 3 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Android 17, and successfully convert energy points, 3 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by Android 17, and successfully convert energy points, 3 million points. The system prompts kept ringing in his mind, but Son Gohan didn't pay much attention to it. In a flash, he had already reached the front of number 17. Concentrating all his strength on his right leg, a smashing knee hit Super No 17's abdomen. Puff! The terrifying blow caused number 17 to spurt blood from his mouth, and suffered heavy injuries and almost passed out. Before number 17 recovered, Son Gohan grabbed his hair roughly with one hand. A series of knee tops hit No 17's cheek head-on. We, Saiyan, can grow every time we go through a battle. After crawling back from the brink of death, our skills can be greatly improved. Thanks to you and number 18 who beat me to the brink of death last time, I recovered having power over you. So, even if you have unlimited energy, so what? Son Gohan slammed number 17 hard while roaring. Under several successive impacts, No 17's face was distorted until it was bloody, but he was still conscious and did not completely faint because of this. The knee strike struck again, and number 17 resisted the force of the impact with both hands. Hey? You're even more tenacious than I thought. I thought you were out of your mind. With a sneer on his face, Son Gohan brutally grabbed number 17. Looking at the angry face in front of him, Son Gohan dismissed it. Yes, it's like this. When I was facing you, I also had this expression. Now that the roles are reversed, I will let you know what cruelty is. After the words fell, Son Gohan charged up and made a right whip legs to kill number 17. Bang! A bang! The powerful blow swept across like a thunderbolt, hitting No 17's body hard and sending it 1,000 meters into the air. Taking advantage of the victory to pursue, Son Gohan will give number 17 the final blow. This is the end of the tragedy of the future world. Die! Artificial man No 17. The hysterical shout broke out, and Son Gohan stabilized his posture in the air, his energy was compressed and gathered in the palm of his hand. In just a few seconds, this accumulated infinite destructive power, which was enough to blow up an entire planet to pieces, condensed into a nirvana. Magic flashlight. Thunderous shouts resounded through the sky, and golden energy light waves shot out from the palm of Son Gohan's right hand, piercing the space, opening the abyss like a dragon, trying to swallow number 17. Oops! Feeling the deadly sense of crisis brought about by the power of this move, No 17's pupils shrank sharply. At this moment, he kindly felt that death was beckoning to him. Seeing the demon's flashing attack, number 17 could only protect his hands in front of his body and resisted forcefully. But with this kind of terrifying nirvana, even if he resisted hard, he would be disabled if he didn't die. Number 17. Get out of here! At the critical moment, Android 18, who had been suppressed by Son Gohan before, rushed to the battlefield. She flew towards number 17 and forcibly rescued number 17. Son Gohan's magic flash hit the air, and shot straight into the sky like a rocket, broke through the atmosphere, and arrived in the universe. Boom! The energy of the magic flash exploded in the universe, sparking a dazzling glow that enveloped the earth. Cut! I forgot about you. With a cold snort of disdain, Son Gohan's face gradually became serious. He thought it would take a while to recover on the 18th. It was only a little bit short, and the 17th died. The cold eyes shifted to the two android siblings. Son Gohan clenched his fists tightly, and the S-cells in his body were in the excited period, urging him to fight. It's okay, No 17. After forcing number 17 to rescue, number 18 worried. Fortunately, she arrived in time, otherwise she would have lost her younger brother. Chapter 15. Number 18. Consciousness gradually became clear, and an unforgettable tingling pain spread all over his body. Number 17 gritted his teeth and stabilized his body. Wiping the blood off his face, he glared at Son Gohan with a ferocious look on his face. Today, he has been greatly humiliated. Damn Son Gohan! He has become so powerful, I can't beat him alone. Number 17 stared at Son Gohan, who exuded golden aura and looked like a god of war in the distance. Get timid. Just now, he was really scared by Son Gohan's onslaught. Fighting alone, being abused to pieces. Don't get angry with number 17, let's join hands to deal with him. Damn Son Gohan, how dare you scratch my face? I can't spare him. The younger brother was beaten, and his face was almost disfigured, which made number 18 anger swelled, wishing to cut Son Gohan to death. Well, but this time we have to be more careful, number 18, that guy is obviously different from before. Number 17 slightly suppressed the anger in his heart, and told number 18 beside him. Of course I know that it has indeed become different, but don't forget that he is just a cripple now. With one hand missing, no matter how powerful he is, how can he possibly be able to defeat us? Number 18 analyzed with reason and evidence. Hearing this, a hint of viciousness and gloom flashed in No 17's eyes. As long as they join forces, so what if Son Gohan is strong? It's just a plaything in their hands. Have you discussed the countermeasures? If you don't have enough time, I can give you a little more time. Son Gohan teleported from afar and landed 10 meters away in front of them. The golden arrogance lingered all over his body, and he looked imposing. His aura did not decrease at all due to the magic flash just now, but became stronger and stronger, climbing up bit by bit. Saiyans' blood burned in his body, roaring, urging him to fight. It's just a fluke to take advantage of it, don't pretend to be there. Son Gohan. Seeing Son Gohan's extremely arrogant attitude, number 17 was so angry that he wanted to cut him into pieces. This time I will crush you to ashes, so that you will never survive again. Son Gohan. Number 18 was also furious. The most poisonous woman in the world, this woman hates Son Gohan even more than number 17. Their anger was exactly what Son Gohan wanted. With the help of the pressure brought by the android siblings, try to break through to a higher level of Super Saiyan. In a breath, the two artificial humans started to move. The division of labor is clear, and they cooperate with each other to attack Son Gohan from left to right. Boom. LB. Boom. LB. Boom. LB. Boom. LB. Boom. LB. Boom. LB. The combination of fists and kicks formed a series of attacks on Son Gohan. The coordination was flawless, and the connection between each move and style was perfect. They are siblings, and they often cooperate in battle, so there is no need for any verbal communication, or even eye contact, and they can achieve a perfect cooperation based on what they feel in their hearts. In just a few seconds, Son Gohan felt the terrifying pressure from their joint attack. Even if his current combat power value is more than 100 million higher than any of them, he will be suppressed due to lack of left arm and inconvenient movement. Fortunately, his own fighting skills and experience are quite rich, and this is not the first time the original owner of this body has fought against an artificial human, so the body already has an instinctive dodge response. Even if their cooperation is perfect, it will not be able to bring him huge pressure in a short period of time. What's wrong? Your fists are so soft, they don't bring me any pressure at all. Son Gohan taunted while dodging to deal with the attack. Now, his veins are boiling, the Saiyan blood in his body is burning. Under the pressure of their joint efforts, he really felt what a fighting nation is. As long as he is in battle, he will become stronger and stronger. Speed, strength, and responsiveness will gradually increase with the duration of the battle. His taunting words reached the ears of the two artificial humans, making their killing intent even stronger. There is a tacit understanding between the siblings, and the goal is agreed, one left and one right, and at the same time, a whip kick hits Son Gohan's abdomen. Son Gohan, who had been prepared for a long time, made a block with one hand. Boom! With a bang, the impact brought by the superposition of power cannot be underestimated. In just a split second, Son Gohan's body flew upside down like a kite with a broken string. Feeling the tingling sensation on his arm, Son Gohan became more and more excited and excited. This is how the will to fight was triggered. Taking advantage of the victory, number 17 and number 18 cast the Doomsday Laser on Son Gohan at the same time. Numerous golden energy beams enough to penetrate everything shot out continuously from their fingertips. This scene brought back memories of Son Gohan. The original owner of this body died under the Doomsday Laser jointly released by the two of them. The same trick doesn't work for me. With a roar, Son Gohan took the initiative to explode the energy in his body. The energy of the first level of Super Saiyan is fully activated. The breath gathered in the palm, and he waved his big hand violently, forming a storm of breath that could subvert everything. Boom! 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 The flames of the explosion engulfed the sky, and the doomsday laser jointly released by number 17 and number 18 was also wiped out by the breath storm he set off with one hand. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Android 17 doomsday laser, and successfully convert energy points, 5 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Android 17 doomsday laser, and successfully convert energy points, 4 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Android 18 doomsday laser, and successfully convert energy points, 6 million points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy dropped by the Android 18 doomsday laser, and successfully convert energy points, 3 million points. Surging with fighting spirit, Son Gohan rushed out of the smoke of the explosion, and his strong body slammed into Android 17 with tremendous force like a shell. Hey! Sensing the coming crisis, the hairs on No 17's body stood on end, feeling bad. Chapter 16. Boom! A bang! Son Gohan, who came out of the gunpowder, smashed heavily on No 17's body. Puff! Number 17, who was already seriously injured, was hit hard again. Bright red blood spurted out, his aura was reduced, and his whole body turned into a meteor and fell towards the earth. Knocking number 17 into the air, Son Gohan's eyes focused on number 18, and the ferocity in his eyes made number 18 lose his mind. Without any sympathy, fierce punches and kicks, crazy output, devastated number 18. Any part of the body is the target of Son Gohan's attack. Boom! LB! Boom! LB! Boom! LB! Boom! LB! The collision between fists and feet created huge waves in the space. Even with only one hand, it is more than enough to beat an artificial human violently. This is the case on the 17th, not to mention the less powerful Android 18. In just a few seconds, No 18's clothes were smashed, bloody wounds were all over her body, and huge fist marks were all over her body. The most conspicuous thing is the slender wound on the right cheek that spread to the jaw. How dare you! How dare you hurt my face! Number 18 roared like crazy. Beauty is everything to a woman. The face is the most precious treasure of a woman. Her flawless white skin was permanently scarred by Son Gohan. The anger soared, and the anger in her heart soared, and she entered a state of madness. Now, no matter what serious price she pays, she will brutally kill Son Gohan for revenge. An irreparable scar was left on his face, and number 18 went berserk. Angry, she can even burst out with strength enough to surpass number 17 in a short period of time, and she can compete with Son Gohan in a short period of time. Bang! Punch out! On the 18th, he hit Son Gohan's chest with lightning speed and sent him flying more than 10 meters away. Hiss! It hurts. Looks like I underestimated you. Grinning, Son Gohan smiled instead of anger. The blood of Saiyan in the body, after the stimulation brought by the thrashing, became more and more boiling and hot. Kill you! I'm going to tear you into pieces. The crazy woman on the 18th couldn't tell the shape after her face was injured. She ran away, only wanting to take Son Gohan's life. The petite body moved more and more agilely, but in one breath, it reached in front of Son Gohan, the energy in the palm gathered, and pressed towards the center of Son Gohan's eyebrows. Facing No 18's raid, Son Gohan dodged her attack precisely and cleverly, and at the same time teleported behind her, locking her neck firmly with one hand. It's up to you to kill me. Disdain appeared in Son Gohan's eyes. Now he is not the Son Gohan he used to be, with the blessing of the system, coupled with the increase in combat power of the Dying Resurrection and the increase in combat power of the Combat Power Upgrade card, the current him is far from being able to fight against mere artificial humans. Moreover, now he has vaguely realized the Super Saiyan of a higher level. Number 18, whose throat was restrained by Son Gohan, couldn't even breathe. This brutal force made her feel like her neck was about to break. Hey! Noticing a change in the ground below, number 17 was heading towards his position. Seeing that my sister is dying, do you rush to rescue her? You are such a good brother. As you wish, I will give her back to you. After the words fell, Son Gohan grabbed No 18's neck with one hand, go all out. The body of number 18 was thrown by Son Gohan like a cannonball, and it hit number 17 at a speed of 100 meters per second. Number 18. The elder sister was right in front of her eyes, and number 17 subconsciously stopped moving, and opened her arms to catch number 18. But this ferocious impact was terrifying to the extreme. For number 17, this feeling was like a building slamming into him. The power was unstoppable, and it smashed him back to the ground from the midair. After mitigating most of the impact, number 17 looked worriedly at number 18 in his arms, and the anxiety and worry in his eyes could hardly be concealed. It's hard to imagine that a cold-blooded and ruthless man-made human would have such a side. High in the air, Son Gohan felt the expansion and pleasure of the blood force in his body. The S cells in the body were in an extremely excited state, and Son Gohan also felt something from this. Now he is in a very happy mood, even enjoying the feeling of blood boiling in his body. This is the true power of Super Saiyan. Fighting people, as long as they can fight, they can grow continuously. With a grin, Son Gohan clenched his fists, and his eyes showed excitement and anticipation. He has already felt another force very clearly, and he is very sure that once this force is aroused, it will be much stronger than him now. With a thought, the flying technique was cast, and Son Gohan slowly landed from a high altitude, and reappeared in front of the android siblings. Son. Enlightenment. Meal. Android 17 yelled angrily at Son Gohan, gnashing his teeth. Anger swirled in his eyes, but he had no choice but to rage helplessly here. What are you doing so loudly? You idiot! Moving his body, Son Gohan scolded. You must die. Son Gohan. At this moment, Android 18 struggled to stand up from No 17's arms, the wound on his face was still bleeding, and his eyes were full of anger and killing intent. Can't you change the line? I'm tired of hearing it. Son Gohan didn't care about the incompetent rage of the two androids in front of him. After a joke, he said, the boring game time is over, I'm tired of playing Gon. Hey? A game? How dare you say this is a game? What a joke! Son Gohan. Number 17 was enraged by Son Gohan's words. Son Gohan called them a game for such a dangerous battle. Is this looking down on their artificial humans? That's right, this is a game that belongs to me. I have roughly understood how strong you are. Now, I have had enough. Twisting his neck, Son Gohan clenched his fists tightly, with no expression on his face. Concerned about the transformation into dignified and serious. Stop pretending there, Son Gohan. Die. Number 18, who couldn't bear it anymore, raised his hand and shot a beam of energy at Son Gohan. Just half a meter away from Son Gohan, the energy light was directly thrown into the sky by the impact of the breath. Chapter 17. How so? The energy attack was bounced off by momentum, and number 18 finally realized how serious the situation was. The Son Gohan in front of them is no longer someone they can crush and play with at will. After crawling back from the brink of death, the other party already has the power to surpass their artificial humans. Even if they have unlimited energy, it's useless. It's time for this, let me show you something good. The smile on his face became more ferocious and crazy, and Son Gohan tried his best to stimulate the S cells in the body, so as to wake up the energy that was sleeping in the body. Boom! A loud bang. The golden arrogance erupted from the inside out, his hair also began to move without wind, and the intensity of his breath was also rising steadily. His energy index is skyrocketing. Number 17 saw Son Gohan's energy intensity through the energy detector in his body, and panic and shock appeared on his face. Ever since they were released by Dr. Glue, they all thought they were invincible existences on this planet, but now, fear sprouted in their hearts. What a sad thing. Stop joking. It's just Son Gohan. Number 18 knew how amazing the energy of Son Gohan was in front of him. But she was unwilling to accept the cruel fact that he wanted to kill Son Gohan forcibly. At this moment, number 18 seemed to be going crazy, waving his hands at an extremely fast speed, and the doomsday laser was cast again. Number 17 was not in a daze, and followed his sister's move, and also cast the doomsday laser. Boom! 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 One explosion after another was heard endlessly, wandering in all directions. In an instant, the sky shook and the earth cracked. Gunpowder smoke filled the air, and rocks were flying. Under the ravages of the aftermath, the city that was originally intact has been bombed at this moment, leaving only scorched earth and scattered rocks all over the place. The two androids worked together to bombard Son Gohan one after another. The continuous energy bombardment lasted for 2 minutes. The huge mushroom cloud shot straight into the sky, with a diameter of thousands of meters. The city has completely disappeared, completely reduced to a wasteland. The location that was bombed formed an abyss with a diameter of 500 meters. Hey, 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 hey. No 17's breathing rhythm became a little rapid, and his face also became a little pale. Now, should be dead, right? No 18's situation was not much better, and it was a heavy mental burden on her to forcibly destroy the eternal energy furnace in her body. Even though they have an eternal energy furnace with endless energy, they will be mentally burdened to a certain extent. With such a high-intensity energy output, they can't last long. Especially under this kind of full output, being able to last for 2 minutes is already the limit of the limit. Number 17 and number 18 stared intently at the center of the explosion, their minds were solemn, and they did not dare to relax for a moment. The energy detector in the body is now unresponsive. They also don't know if Son Gohan is dead or alive. Time passed by every minute and every second, and the billowing smoke gradually dissipated. In an instant, the energy detectors in the two artificial humans reacted, and the energy value of this reaction was even more terrifying than expected. No. Impossible, he actually. Number 17 was stunned, his eyes were trembling, and fear appeared in his eyes. Son Gohan, you. Number 18 backed away with horror on his face, and his body trembled unconsciously. Behind the thick gunpowder, the golden flame slowly pierced through the dark haze, and Son Gohan's appearance at the moment was gradually revealed. There is not much difference from the first stage of Super Saiyan before, only the muscles have become more developed and the hair has become more erect. It's finally finished. Thanks to you, I broke the existing boundaries and stepped into a higher level. This form is the first stage and second stage of Super Saiyan. I clenched my fists and felt the continuous flow of energy in my body. Energy, Son Gohan was thrilled. At this moment, he has completed the new transformation after Vegeta came out of the spiritual time room in the original book, the first stage and the second stage of Super Saiyan. Also because of this breakthrough, his normal combat power has been slightly increased, from the previous 12.5 million to 15 million. Super Saiyan's first stage and second stage normal combat power has increased by 60 times, giving him a full 900 million combat power. In his eyes, the current artificial man is as weak as an ant. Using the flying technique, Son Gohan slowly floated from the abyss to the surface. Noticing the expressions of the two cyborgs, he teased disdainfully, "You look like this, are you afraid? It's really rare for a majestic cyborg to be afraid. Stop talking nonsense, who would be afraid?" Number 17 was still stubborn, but his trembling legs gave him away. "It's just a little bit stronger. With this level of fighting power, we can't win," Number 18 retorted. But she knows how strong Son Gohan is. This is a high-intensity energy that has never been seen before. Really? Then let me see if your strength is as strong as this mouth. After the words fell, Son Gohan raised one hand, and the energy gathered in the palm, its power was beyond imagination, and it was properly extinguished star. Foreseeing the crisis, the 17th and 18th will naturally not sit still. They once again destroyed the eternal energy furnace that had just cooled down in their bodies, one left and one right, accumulating energy and preparing to amplify their moves. The three parties confronted each other, and the situation was extremely tense. After the energy in the palm had been accumulated, Son Gohan yelled angrily, "Die! The destruction and catastrophe that this planet has suffered for so many years, it's time to end. Demon shine light!" Thunderous roars resounded through the sky, and a golden energy ray shot out from the palm of Son Gohan, which was powerful enough to destroy everything. The two cyborgs would not just sit still, they released the superpower of the eternal energy furnace in their bodies, and merged the purple and blue death energy cannons into one, colliding with the magic flash. Boom long! This energy collision is unprecedentedly intense. The magic flash collided with the double death energy cannon, and the stalemate persisted. Its power even shook the entire earth and caused a small earthquake. Chapter 18. The Nirvana collides and is in a balanced state. To deal with the double death energy cannons on the 17th and 18th, Son Gohan is always in a state of ease. The strength gap is too great. The reason why he didn't kill the two androids in one go is because Son Gohan was using the two androids to collect more energy points. Ding! Automatically absorb the energy of Android 17 and Android 18 cooperation. Death energy cannon, successfully converted energy points, 5 million points. Ding. Automatically absorb the energy of Android 17 and Android 18 cooperation. Death energy cannon, and successfully convert energy points, 4 million points. Ding. Automatically absorb the energy of Android 17 and Android 18 cooperation. Death energy cannon, and successfully convert energy points, 3 million points. The system prompts in my mind kept ringing, and the energy points that could be absorbed and transformed were also declining. This also let Son Gohan know that the true infinity does not exist, and after reaching a certain node, it will be exhausted. And it's pointless to keep them after all the value has been squeezed out. Damn Son Gohan! No matter how strong you are, there will be times when you run out of energy. The final outcome will not change. No matter how hard we fight, we androids will not get tired. We will continue to maintain this evenly matched situation and lose in the end. The person must be you. Android 17 was clamoring arrogantly. The eternal energy melting pot in his body endowed him with absolute confidence. As long as the status quo is maintained and the balance of energy is maintained, Son Gohan's energy will be exhausted sooner or later. When the time comes, they will win. Son Gohan. No matter how stubborn you are, it's useless. Our man-made energy is endless. You should regret it, regret that you chose this way to confront us. In terms of energy attacks, we will not lose. Android 18 laughed hysterically. This crazy woman has not yet figured out what kind of situation she is in. Their words fell into Son Gohan's ears verbatim. Such an arrogant and domineering attitude made Son Gohan laugh out loud. Impenetrable idiots, talking to you is a waste of my time, go to hell and count your sins. Angrily shouted, Son Gohan stopped hiding and took the initiative to exert force. The extremely terrifying magic flash in the palm was magnified again. Boom! The energy skyrocketed again, and the terrifying power seemed to be able to overthrow the world to the extreme. The diameter of the magic flash doubled sharply, crushing number 17 and No 18's combination attack death energy cannon with a devastating force, and killed them all the way. The situation changed in an instant, and the emotion of fear was born from the heart. Before the two androids died, they revealed the appearance of fear, which is unforgettable. Boom! The aftermath of the devastating explosion soared into the sky. Android 17 and Android 18 are devoured by energy. The entire Earth was shaken by the aftermath of the explosion, and everything within a kilometer radius was destroyed. At the center of the explosion, a huge crater with a depth of 1,000 meters was formed. Billowing thick smoke shot straight into the sky, and a mushroom cloud covering the sky and the sun rose from the ground. As the final winner of this battle, Son Gohan stands in the void as a victor. This time he fought against the artificial man, he won and crushed it with an absolute advantage. His cold eyes stared at the center of the explosion. Time passed by every minute and every second, until 5 minutes passed, the thick smoke cleared, and neither of the two artificial humans showed up. At this point, Son Gohan was sure that they were dead. Hey! With a turbid breath, Son Gohan lifted Super Saiyan's transformation from the first stage to the second stage. After the feeling of excitement disappeared, it was replaced by tiredness and fatigue. The energy consumption of the first stage and the second stage of Super Saiyan is a bit higher than that of ordinary Super Saiyan. In addition, he fought against Cell earlier, and now he is dealing with two cyborgs. He has used several big moves in a row, and his physical strength has almost been exhausted. Looking around, the former city is now covered by yellow sand and rocks. It is a pity that we have to go to other cities to find the final materials. Of course, this is a small problem. For him, after experiencing the battle with Cell and the battles of Android 17 and Android 18 this time, he now has a terrifying 253.75 million energy points. The energy points have exceeded 100 million, and this rich harvest far exceeds the value of a gravity training room. In the future, there will be no man-made humans again. This world is also out of the Dark Age. Looking at the dilapidated city, Son Gohan murmured, then turned and flew towards the west. At the same time, on the planet King Kai where King Kai is located. As the manager of the Northern Galaxy, King Kai is always concerned about the changes in the Northern Galaxy. At the same time, he is most concerned about the Earth. The artificial man was eliminated, and he got the news immediately. Great, the artificial humans on the Earth have finally been wiped out. If Goku knows this news, he will be very happy. His son Gohan has solved the crisis of artificial humans. King Kai's old face showed intriguing smile. Since the Son Goku of this world died of a viral heart attack, there was no subsequent series of plots, and King Kai did not die either. He also lives on the planet King Kai. As for where Son Goku is now, he was recommended by him to practice on the Great Realm King a few years ago. The other warriors on the earth also got the privilege of retaining their physical bodies, and they could practice on the Great Realm King planet in the underworld. It's not too late, I have to go to Great Realm King planet now, and take a look at how their cultivation is going. You know, they represent the face of my northern galaxy. After making a decision, King Kai used his ability in the next second, took his 2 pets, and disappeared on the King Kai star. Chapter 19. The screen changed, and he returned to the battlefield full of wolves. Just half an hour after Son Gohan left. Behind a rock, a burly, muscular man with a coxcomb came out. It would be a surprise if Son Gohan was still here. Because this guy is the android 16 that the future world has never revealed its true identity. He has been hiding in the dark watching the battle, waiting for the opportunity to move. Originally, he planned to assist number 17 and number 18 to kill Son Gohan, but when Son Gohan successfully transformed into the first stage and second stage of Super Saiyan, he very rationally chose to hide in the dark. Not only killed the ultimate artificial human cell made by Dr. Ge Luobo, but also killed Android 17 and 18. It seems that I have to plan a new plan. Android 16 said in a low mechanical voice. His eyes looked towards the huge crater created by the explosion. I hope those 2 things have not been destroyed. Android 16 strolled towards the abyss of the explosion. His eyes, the ability to search was activated, looking for the things left over from Android 17 and 18 in the ruins and yellow sand. As his search ability was activated, he quickly found the parts of number 17 and number 18 that remained after the explosion. No 17's broken arm, no 18's half leg. These are not the targets of number 16. He dug the ground with both hands, threw away the 2 wreckages, and dug deeply, looking for what he wanted to find. After digging for a full 2 minutes, Android 16 showed a satisfied smile. He picked up 2 iron ball-like objects and put them into the mechanical compartment where he stored his items. With 2 crucial things in the bag, Android 16 inspected the surroundings vigilantly, and after confirming that there was no one around, he flew into the sky and left this barren area. The old era is over, and the new era is about to kick off. And in this new era, there will definitely be his figure. Western Capital. After finding the last needed material, Son Gohan came back here. When he landed on the ground of Universal Capsule Company, he found that Trunks was already waiting for him here. Brother Gohan. Seeing Son Gohan's safe return, Trunks finally let go of the big rock that had been hanging in his heart. Even in the Western Capital, he could still feel how fierce the battle was on the other side of the earth. Especially the intensity of Son Gohan's last eruption was beyond his imagination. It seems that you already know some things, Trunks. Coming to Trunks, Son Gohan laughed. Brother Gohan, you still met a man-made human when you went out this time. It's okay, it's really great. Trunks said, unable to hold back the worry in his heart. Hearing this, Son Gohan continued to smile, and there was no need to hide it at this time, and said, indeed, I met Android 17 and 18, but this time it's not that I'm fine. It's that they are busy. Just now, I have solved the 2 scourges of them. Solved? Brother Gohan, you mean, Android 17 and 18 are already dead? Trunks froze. What an incredible thing. The nightmare that has plagued them for countless years, Android 17 and Android 18, was killed by his brother Gohan just now. Don't be surprised, as I said, I didn't die last time, but they died this time. From now on, there will be no man-made people on the earth. Patting Trunks on the shoulder, Son Gohan gestured to reassure him. In the next second, he ignored Trunks' feelings and walked straight to the basement. The collected materials have to be handed over to Bulma, and the news has to be given to her too. In the future, they don't need to live underground, they can return to the ground to live a good life. In the basement. Inside Bulma's laboratory. At this moment, Bulma didn't know what he was welding, and he didn't even notice Son Gohan walking down the stairs beside him. Bulma aunt. The coming Son Gohan yelled at Bulma. Hey? Are you back? Gohan. Because he was too absorbed, it was only after Son Gohan called that Bulma noticed that he was back. Well, I'm back. The energy replacement materials for the gravity training room have been collected. In addition, I have another piece of good news. Taking out the universal capsule from his arms and handing it to Bulma, Son Gohan sold a pass. Good news. Bulma took the universal capsule handed over by Son Gohan and blinked, confused. In the future, you don't have to worry about the crisis of artificial humans anymore. I killed them just now. Son Gohan replied with a smile. Hearing this, Bulma's eyes were dull, and his pupils shrank sharply. Gohan. You mean, 17th and 18th? Bulma confirmed in disbelief. Yes, I killed them, this time, they are really dead. Answering again, Son Gohan affirmed. The magic flash of Super Saiyan's first stage and second stage is fully used, but it is a nirvana that can even obliterate existences whose combat power value has reached the billion level. He didn't believe that the mere two artificial humans could still be alive. The cells in this world have also been solved by him. The 17th and 18th died, and there will be no more disasters on the earth in a short time. The suffering of so many years is finally over. Bulma, who heard the news, felt relieved as if it had been decades. Every day that artificial humans exist, they live in dire straits. Now that the man-made man is dead, they no longer have to be as worried as before. Bulma and, from this moment, we can return to the surface. Earth, peace has been restored, and I believe that in just a few years, everything will be the same as before. Staring at Bulma, Son Gohan knew that she too needing to vent his emotions. While speaking, he also comforted Bulma with unwavering eyes. Chapter 20. Time flies, in the blink of an eye, 3 days later. Because the destruction of the world by the artificial man stopped, and there was no more news, the surviving humans seemed to have noticed something, and they came out of the dark underground. At this time, the news of the destruction of the artificial man has not spread, and people are still in fear. This also leads to the fact that even if people dare to go out of the dark corners, they dare not stay on the ground for too long. It was just that after looting some supplies, they returned to the ground. Zidu, Universal Capsule Company. Thanks to Son Gohan's collection of all the materials for the gravity training room, the gravity training room that had been abandoned for many years was reactivated. In the backyard of Universal Capsule Company, an old and dilapidated roundhouse stands here. This is also the training artifact of the early Dragon Ball fighters, the gravity training room. Although it looks old, the ultimate gravity that this gravity training room can achieve is 500 times that of the current Earth. Although the intensity of training is limited for the gravity training room in the later period of the peaceful world in the past, it is enough for the current Son Gohan. When entering the gravitational practice, Son Gohan closed the door of the practice and locked it from the inside, preventing anyone from opening it and entering it. The space in the gravity training room is completely isolated from the outside space, and there must be no mistakes, otherwise there will be unexpected consequences. According to Bulma, when Vegeta in this world used the gravity training room to practice, an unlucky employee opened the door of the gravity training room, causing everything outside the door to be sucked in, and all of them were horribly destroyed. Gravity crushes it to pieces, and the employee dies. Son Gohan walked to the center of the gravity training room, in front of the central console that connected the entire room. According to the method of operation that Bulma told him before, Son Gohan directly increased the gravity of the gravity training room to 100 times that of the Earth. Wang! The device was activated, and in an instant, the entire gravity training room reflected red light and became awash in red. Son Gohan felt his body become heavy and began to try to walk in an environment of 100 times the gravity. With his strength, it has no effect on him except for a little bit of effort. Is this 100 times the gravity? It's not bad. It's just good for warming up. Adapting to the environment of 100 times the gravity, Son Gohan used it to do warm-up exercises. One finger push UPS, squat jumps, sit UPS and more. After a 5-minute adaptation period, the 100 times gravity environment was perfectly overcome by Son Gohan. Since its own strong foundation is placed here, there is no pressure from 100 times the gravity, and it is easy to adapt. Going to the center console again, this time Son Gohan directly increased the multiplier of the gravity training room to 300 times. Suddenly, the light in the gravity training room became more crimson, and a more terrifying gravity swept over his body, almost causing Son Gohan to lose his footing and hit the floor. It's just 300 times the gravity on the Earth, and the pressure is so great that it's unimaginable. It's just 300 times the gravity, does it make me feel a little hard? The intensity of 300 times the gravity is far beyond Son Gohan's imagination. Originally, in his prediction, with his current normal combat power index of 15 million, he thought he could ignore the gravity of about 300 times, and thought that only the gravity of about 400 times would affect him. Now it seems that his prediction was too conservative, and the physical load brought by the gravity training room was beyond imagination. Every bit of improvement will bring a huge burden beyond imagination to one's body. Gravity training is not as easy as I thought. No wonder Vegeta relies on this training method so much. Son Gohan sighed after deeply experiencing the cruelty of gravity training. The gravity on his body made him a little uncomfortable, but it was still within an acceptable range. He can now imagine what cruel training Vegeta experienced in the early stages of the original book. You know, at that time, the opponent's normal combat power index was only a few million, and he could resist 300 times the gravity for high-intensity training. Even his normal combat power value has reached the 15 million level, and he feels a little uncomfortable under 300 times the gravity. Sure enough, the gravity training room is not only a magical tool to become stronger in the early stage, but also has unexpected effects in the later stage. If Son Gohan in the future world in the original book also chooses the gravity training room to practice, the final ending will also be different. Changed, Son Gohan marvels. With his current combat power index of 15 million points under normal conditions, facing such a huge load, even if he can maintain it for 24 hours, it will not be a problem, and he will not be exhausted. After briefly adapting to the gravity of 300 times of gravity, thanks to his amazing talent, Son Gohan will soon be able to move quickly under the force of 300 times of gravity. This also made him feel confident, and the idea of challenging a higher level of gravity ignited in his heart. I don't know, now I can move freely under 500 times the gravity of the Earth's environment with a normal posture. Son Gohan wants to try to challenge his own limit. His strength has reached the point where he is now, and he also wants to know the limit of what kind of state he can be in normally. The 300 times gravity environment is still a bit difficult for him now, but he is already able to move freely, so the pressure he feels is not so great. He wanted to see if this gravity training room could push him to the limit. Even crush him to death. Son Gohan is not worried about any unexpected accidents. If he can't bear the unimaginable gravity, he can also become Super Saiyan in an instant. With the attitude of Super Saiyan, even the force of 500 times of gravity can be handled easily. Raising his hand, Son Gohan clicked on the plus sign on the center console. Each click would increase the gravity in the gravity training room by 10 times at once. After clicking 3 times in a row, a terrifying sense of oppression spread throughout his body, bending his body. Normally, he almost lost his footing and was crushed to the ground on one knee. This is only 330 times the gravity. Just let him feel tired in his normal state. Hey, it can continue to increase. Son Gohan gritted his teeth with a look of reluctance to admit defeat flashed in his eyes, and clicked the gravity training room 5 times at a very fast speed. Did it die? Almost instantly, the gravity soared, and Son Gohan was inattentive, kneeling on one knee under the pressure of the horrific gravity. Chapter 21. The current gravity has not reached 400 times, but only 380 times the Earth's gravity. Even if it is 380 times the gravity, it is enough for the current Son Gohan to drink a pot. Under the pressure of the terrifying gravity, Son Gohan clenched his teeth and tried his best to stand up and straighten his back. Since you want to train with gravity, make up an integer. How can you become stronger without pressure? A mere 380 times the gravity can't trouble him in his normal state. I have roughly understood, the number of gravity, the higher it is, the more terrifying it is. Now that the gravity of 400 times has not arrived, I am crushed like this, and I want to practice in the environment of 500 times the gravity. I have to become a Super Saiyan. Just saying a word is extremely difficult for Son Gohan. Enduring the terrifying gravity, Son Gohan mobilized the energy in his body and forcibly raised his hand. In an environment of 380 times the gravity, the energy flow in his body has been slowed down several times, which made him have extremely strict requirements on his own energy control. Aim your finger at the plus sign on the center console, and click lightly. With 390 times the force of gravity, Son Gohan, who insisted on practicing, trembled uncontrollably in his legs, and his muscles tensed up, as if he would fall down at any time. With 400 times of gravity, Son Gohan trembled all over his body, his face flushed, and his body began to lean down uncontrollably. At this moment, if he did not have strong willpower to support him, he would have fallen to the ground. The anger in his heart and the determination not to admit defeat made Son Gohan want to continue to increase the gravity. Now the gravity of 400 times makes him look ferocious. If he continues to go up, he may die. These challenges are nothing to Saiyan. It's all about it. Son Gohan put on all of them, and clicked the button to increase the gravity again. 410 times the gravity hit, Son Gohan's legs trembled faster, and the veins on his forehead bulged. 420 times the gravity fell, Son Gohan could no longer maintain the stability of the body, kneeling on one knee, the muscles of the body have been twisted to a certain extent, and the capillaries are clearly visible. The gravity increased to 430 times, and Son Gohan could no longer maintain his body without leaning on the center console. It looks like this is already the limit. Do not. It's not over yet. Click the button to increase the gravity again, and this time the gravity directly comes to 440 times. And this can be regarded as reached the extreme, unimaginable gravity descended on his body, making him unable to move an inch. Even if he wanted to vent his anger, he was very dissatisfied, and he couldn't do it if he wanted to continue to increase the gravity. Although he really doesn't want to admit it, the gravity of 440 times is the limit he can bear in his current state. Drink. Son Gohan, who has achieved his goal, liberated the first level energy pool of Super Saiyan in his body. Otherwise, in his normal state, his body would be distorted and deformed by the excessive gravity. In the blink of an eye, Son Gohan entered the first stage of Super Saiyan. With the blessing of Super Saiyan's form, the mere 440 times of gravity can't affect him in the slightest. Super Saiyan's 50-fold increase in combat power at the first level increased Son Gohan's combat power to 750 million in a very short period of time. The heaviness of the body dissipated, Son Gohan exhaled a long breath, and then clicked the gravity boost button 6 times in a row, making the gravity of the gravity training room reach 500 times. For Super Saiyan, the mere 500 times of gravity is really nothing. Although it is still a bit difficult, it is almost negligible. With my current strength, if I want to challenge the gravity of 500 times normally, it is still too far away. I have to transform to be eligible to enter this gravity environment. Son Gohan clenched his fists and muttered language. He also secretly set a goal for himself. If he can withstand 500 times the gravity of the Earth in a normal state, then his strength and physical fitness will inevitably undergo a qualitative change. At that time, it will even help him reach the realm of super full power in one fell swoop. After testing one's limits, the long journey of cultivation begins here. Start reducing gravity, from 500x to 400x. Son Gohan lifted Super Saiyan's first order transformation and resisted with normal power. Even with 400 times the gravity, it would still be a huge burden for him under normal conditions. With pressure comes motivation, especially for Saiyan. A ferocious smile appeared on his face. Son Gohan clenched his fists and said with a grin, "Cultivation, let's start." At the same time, located in the northern part of the Earth, the Red Ribbon Legion is hidden in a secret base deep in the mountains. Here is Dr. Ge Luo's secret research institute. Since the Red Ribbon Corps was destroyed by Son Goku, he used his own ability to create a secret research institute of his own in this lifeless place. The door of this secret research institute has not been opened for many years, and now, this place that has been quiet for countless years has ushered in an unexpected visitor. This unexpected guest is Android 16. Is this the secret research institute in the records? According to the data, there are 3 artificial humans who have not been activated here. Android 16 relied on brute force to enter this dark research institute. As he entered, the lights in the institute illuminated the surroundings. 10 meters away to the left of number 16, 3 dormant cabins came into his sight. After finding the target, number 16 walked towards the location of the dormant cabin, wiped off the ash on the top glass, and he could clearly see the artificial man in the dormant cabin. It seems right, purely mechanical like me, Android 13, Android 14, and Android 15 with the same growth ability as the ultimate Android cell. Android 16 confirmed with a deadpan expression. Now, the time has come. His plan will also start from this. Turning his gaze, No 16's attention shifted to the main computer controlling here. His purpose is the main computer here. Opening the mechanical hidden compartment in the body, Android 16 took out 2 black metal clusters he had collected from the battlefield. The numbers 17 and 18 are respectively engraved on it. These 2 black balls are the center of the eternal energy furnace of Android 17 and Android 18 respectively. Consciousness invaded the main computer, and Android 16 took this opportunity to modify the data of the 3 artificial humans, and to carry out the final transformation of itself. He also needs to have the ability to evolve independently, instead of being a purely mechanical artificial human. Chapter 22. Time comes and goes, as if in the blink of an eye. Unknowingly, a month has passed since the androids were eliminated by Son Gohan. Within a month, all the human survivors hiding underground noticed something strange. They have not felt the impact of the destruction of the artificial man for a long time, and have never heard the news about where the artificial man appeared. All over the world, as time goes by, even if no news is received, many human beings come out of the dark and return to live on the ground. For human beings, after there is no threat, they will gradually get used to it, and at the same time, they will return to what they were before, despite the doomsday for so many years. Some humans think that the artificial man has left. Some people thought who came forward to solve these 2 monsters. This allowed some survivors to seize this opportunity and take the opportunity to shout Zhongyang and replace Son Gohan as the savior, saying that the man-made man was killed by him. Among them, Satan is the most. This guy not only achieved his title of savior in the past time and space, but also in the future time and space. Some people believe it, and of course some people sneer at it. It's just that he seized the opportunity and did something that won the hearts of the people. The news reached Bulma of Universal Capsules as well. Bulma's first reaction was to dismiss Satan. Of course, Bulma also thinks this is a good thing, just like Bulma in the past time and space helped Z fighters hide their identities. In order to prevent the Z fighters from being exposed, they turned a blind eye to Satan. The future Bulma feels that one thing more is worse than one thing less, and can indirectly hide the existence of Son Gohan. The most angry one is none other than Trunks. After all, he knew that it was his brother Gohan who killed Android 17 and 18. How can he be convinced now that someone else has taken the credit, and is still such a jumping clown? But Bulma ordered him not to make trouble, and he could only hold back the tone and feel uncomfortable in his heart. Besides, Son Gohan, in the final analysis, the title of savior or something is not important to him at all. But he was quite surprised. He didn't expect that Satan in the future world would still be alive in this era. He also thought that this person had already died under the ravages of man-made humans. Now that Satan is still alive, it is just time for the trajectory of history to slowly return to the right track. And, there was one more person that Son Gohan thought of. If Satan is not dead, then his daughter Videl should not be dead either. In the original book, his wife, the future world really didn't appear. After all, the original Son Gohan in the future world should have died long ago, because of his time travel, he was alive. Gravity Training Room. Son Gohan started a new round of sparring with Trunks. The gravity at this moment has reached an astonishing 300 times. Not a big deal for Son Gohan, but not for Trunks. This level of gravity, looking at a month ago, under the premise that Trunks did not change Super Saiyan, would definitely be crushed. But now, after a period of adaptation and tempering, he has been able to walk like flying in an environment of 300 times the gravity. In order to cater to Trunks' practice and relatively give this kid a little room for growth, Son Gohan started combat training with him in an environment of 300 times the gravity. It has to be said that Trunks himself is an outstandingly talented Saiyan warrior, also a hybrid of Saiyan and Earthlings. His cultivation talent is not inferior to Son Gohan. In just 1 month of gravity training, his normal combat power has ushered in a qualitative leap, from the previous 2 million to the current 4 million. In a month, it has doubled. After becoming Super Saiyan, his combat power index will also soar to an astonishing 200 million. As for Son Gohan, every time after teaching Trunks, he will start special training for himself. Today, he has reached 20 million points in normality alone. After becoming a Super Saiyan, the combat power value can climb to 1 billion units. About 3 hours later, the Hardy Two finished their training, opened the door of the gravity training room and walked out. White smoke was rising from Trunks' body. Even after 3 hours, the kid was still excited. That's the end of today's training, Trunks. Follow the method I told you before, try to break through the Super Saiyan boundaries, so that you can break yourself. Son Gohan told Trunks. Exercising with this kid for 3 hours was just a warm-up exercise for me. Trunks could not keep up with the intensity of his cultivation, and he would be crushed to death if he was not careful. Well, I understand, Brother Gohan, since Brother Gohan told me the realm above Super Saiyan last time, I have also vaguely realized it, and I have a hunch that I will be able to break through that barrier in a short time. Clenching his fists, Trunks is still very satisfied with himself now. He could clearly feel that the current self was a complete qualitative change compared to the self a month ago. As expected of a kid who inherited Vegeta's blood, he realized a higher level so quickly. Son Gohan couldn't help but gasped, surprised at Trunks' talent. Well, this is the best way, but don't forget, the correct way to cultivate is. The words were not finished. Suddenly, somewhere 10,000 meters away, there was a deafening explosion. Boom! The shock wave of the explosion spread, and everything within a radius of tens of miles was affected, trembling non-stop. What's going on with this explosion? Trunks was startled by such an unexpected situation. Obviously, the man-made humans are dead, so there shouldn't be any horrible existence on the Earth. What happened to this Big Bang? It shouldn't be. In this period of time, there shouldn't be such a mistake. Is it because I changed the plot development of the original work, which caused an indirect butterfly effect? As a time traveler, Son Gohan is well aware of the crises that may occur in the Dragon Ball world at any time. But now, something unexpected happened. As a Saiyan, his intuition told him that the explosion this time was definitely not as simple as it seemed on the surface. Trunks, stay here, I'll go take a look. Subconsciously asked Trunks to stay here, Son Gohan planned to go over to find out. But this time, Trunks refused to obey. Brother Gohan, please let me go with you. Even if I am not half of your size, I will definitely be able to help you. Trunks volunteered. The intuition and justice in Trunks' heart told him that this time, he had to follow. While using it to test my own cultivation results, it is also to prove to Son Gohan that he can also help. Seeing Trunks' unwavering gaze, Son Gohan finally agreed. This kid is indeed not weak now, so he won't let himself be too distracted. Okay, then follow up and find out what happened to the explosion. After finishing speaking, Son Gohan cast flying technique and flew towards the sky. Okay. After getting the permission, Trunks was very excited. He practiced for a month, and finally had a place to use it. Chapter 23. The site of the explosion. World peace, but only lasted for a short month. For a month, human beings seemed to be dreaming, because there was no harm from artificial humans. Countless people began to contribute their own strength to rebuild the city. Originally, everything was going in a good direction. But at times like this, unexpected accidents always happen. Countless humans fled in all directions after the explosion, and before they could take a few steps, they would be engulfed by the energy wave and burnt to ashes. Destroy cities and slaughter humans. The leader was a white-haired man in a yellow jacket, with metallic skin and a peaked cap. Beside him, there are two accomplices. One is a purple robot with a short stature, less than 1.5 meters. The other is a white robot with a strong body and an air of steel exuding from top to bottom. Android 17 and Android 18 were wiped out, and the butterfly effect caused other artificial humans to pop up in the current future time and space, and they are the characters that will only appear in the theatrical version. Android 13, Android 14, and Android 15. According to Master No 16's order, slaughter human beings, draw Son Gohan, and then kill him. The headed man-made man number 13 said to his two partners. Listening to his words, it is obvious that the data in his mind has been tampered with. In the theatrical version, the meaning of their appearance is to kill Son Goku, but now Android 16 has modified the command to kill Son Gohan. The other two companions did not hesitate to fire laser cannons to attack the fleeing humans after receiving the instructions. Blue and purple energy bombs, every human being touched will be burned to ashes, and then cause a huge explosion. In just a few seconds, this dilapidated land was once again covered by the stench of thick smoke and fiery flames, recreating the scene of a hell on earth. Help! Among the leading crowd, a middle-aged man with an unshaven beard and an afro was fleeing desperately. Behind him, there are also countless people fleeing for their lives. Mr. Satan! Aren't you the savior of mankind? Killed Android 17 and Android 18, you should stop those three guys from acting recklessly. What are you doing now? A person behind said to Satan, who was running at the forefront, questioned. At the same time, it also made it clear to the other fleeing people that the person who escaped the fastest was Mr. Satan, who announced not long ago that the artificial man had been eliminated by himself. The man who was crowned with the title of savior. Fool! Let me deal with those monsters, isn't it suicide? Whoever wants to do this kind of work, let him do it. Satan still knows which is more important, life or reputation. There is no need to lose your life for a lie before. Without answering, Satan silently speeded up his escape. At the same time, the fleeing crowd behind him also saw through his disguise. This guy is not a savior at all, he is a liar. Damn liar. Satan. UBD. Stop it. I will never let you go. Damn liar. It's my fault that I believed in you so much before. There were countless curses from the crowd, but Satan didn't care about it. It just sped up the speed of escape again. Hey. It's them. Directly in front of Satan, Artificial Man number 15 was already waiting here. Satan also recognized it at a glance. Robot number 15 didn't hesitate at all. He raised his hand, the corners of his mouth fluctuated slightly, and a purple light wave shot out from his palm. Yes. I'm sorry. The scene in front of him frightened Satan instantly, with tears and snot flowing from his nose. He knelt on his knees subconsciously, curled up with his head in his hands. Because of this, he dodged the energy light wave of Android 15 by chance. The crowd behind Satan wasn't so lucky, though. The energy light wave of Android 15 hit them, causing a big explosion in an instant. Boom! The energy bomb exploded, scorching flames spread across the ground, and billowing smoke slowly rose. Those who were unlucky were all burned to ashes under the energy light wave of Android 15, without a whole body, not even a chance to scream. This hellish scene completely frightened Satan. Who will come, who will save me? The clown who pretended to be the savior before was crying on the spot, hoping that someone would come to save him. The only response to him was the purple halo shining again in the palm of number 15. You bastards! Stop me! At the very moment, Trunks arrived in time, sprinted at full speed, and forcibly knocked Android 15 into the air. The attack was interrupted, but the energy light wave was still released, but it was a little off, and it happened to land on the ruins on the right side of Satan. The energy exploded again. Satan was messed up in the wind, he almost thought he was going to die. Hey, you're okay, it's you. Forcibly interrupting Android 15, Trunks turned around and found that the person in front of him was Satan, and was instantly stunned. Isn't this guy the one who took the credit of Brother Gohan before? It's really unlucky, it's not good to save someone, but it happened to save such a liar. Don't relax, Trunks. Son Gohan's stern reprimand came from the air, pulling Trunks' energy back at once. That guy is Satan? Hehe, should we say that we came at the right time, or should he die? Landing from the sky to Satan's side, Son Gohan stared at the terrified man in front of him. A middle-aged uncle who does not keep himself, Son Gohan joked. Son Gohan, you have finally appeared. In the flames behind Son Gohan, there was a scarlet light. Son Gohan turned around, and androids 13 and 14 emerged from the flames. It's them. Just one glance, Son Gohan recognized them. In the theatrical version of Dragon Ball, an artificial human made by Dr. Ge Luo's computer is designed to kill Son Goku. Now that Son Goku is dead, they shouldn't be activated. Could it be that the butterfly effect was caused by changing history? An artificial human again? It's endless. Raising his spirits, Son Gohan's eyes narrowed. The combat power values of Android 13 and Android 14 appeared in front of his eyes. Android number 13, combat power value, 550 million points. Android 14, combat power value, 350 million points. Chapter 24. I saw the combat power index. The headed artificial man number 13 is still very strong. This is also in line with the setting of his appearance in another time and space world. Just in this state, the combat power value is enough to compare with Android 17 and 18, and it can even be said to exceed 17 and 18 in some respects. As for the remaining artificial man number 14, it is nothing to worry about. The combat power has only reached the level of 350 million. To be honest, it is not a threat at all to him. However, for Trunks, it is a bit dangerous. Trunks' normal combat power has only reached 4 million points at this time, and the combat power of the first level of Super Saiyan is only 200 million. If you really fight one-on-one, you can indeed deal with it for a while, but you definitely can't hold on for too long. Once Super Saiyan's energy has passed its peak, its strength will decline rapidly. Damn! How many artificial humans did Dr. Glow create? After the 17th and 18th died, there are now 3 artificial humans. Trunks clenched his fists, not to mention how inflated his anger was. He hated the existence of artificial humans. Especially after the Earth finally took a breather for a month, and the peace was so short, it was destroyed again. Execute your lord's order and kill Son Gohan. Robot number 13 said in a low mechanical voice. Robot number 14 on the side is ready to go, and various data indicators of Son Gohan emerge in his eyes. The artificial man number 15, which was knocked into the air by Trunks, also returned, took out a bottle of unknown solution from his arms and poured it into his mouth, with a wicked smile on his face. The goal of the three cyborgs is undoubtedly Son Gohan. Trunks on the side remained vigilant, not daring to relax in the slightest. He is also next to Son Gohan, because the opponent's target is his brother Gohan. Especially when the other party has a large number of people, I am afraid that there will be more bad luck on my side. Hehe. Is the target me? Then follow me. With a relieved smile on his face, Son Gohan didn't ask why, he jumped up and flew towards the outskirts of the city at the fastest speed. There are already many humans living in the western capital, and the reconstruction project is still in progress. He couldn't fight here, otherwise the aftermath of the battle would be too intense and everything would be destroyed in an instant. Kill Son Gohan. The goal of the three androids is only Son Gohan. As artificial humans completely controlled by system commands, they will not miss the opportunity. As for Trunks, he was ignored. Damn it, don't underestimate me. His own existence was completely ignored, and Trunks was so angry that he chased after him violently. At this moment, the only thing left in the vicinity is Saiyan, who was lucky enough to recover alive, messing around in the wind all by himself. Just now, he thought he was going to die. Now somehow saved. After regaining consciousness, Saiyan hurriedly withdrew again, for fear that those man-made humans would come back again and kill him. Shifting the battlefield, Son Gohan headed north at full speed. The three cyborgs are chasing after him. After flying rapidly for about 10 minutes, they arrived at a desolate ice and snow field. The extreme north. Son Gohan descended from the sky and landed on a huge ice sheet. In another storyline of time and space, the Z warriors also solved the artificial people number 13, number 14, and number 15 here. The only difference is that the opponent wants to kill Son Goku, not him Son Gohan. Three artificial people followed closely behind, surrounding him on the left and right sides and in front of him respectively. Trunks arrives last and lands beside Son Gohan, trying to help Son Gohan. Will you not have any scruples if you fight here? Son Gohan. Robot number 13 chuckled. I don't know whether he has his own thoughts, or the person behind the control is talking. To be precise, I also carefully selected such a suitable grave for the three artificial humans out of good intentions. After all, as robots, every part of your body is extremely precious. It would be bad if someone with a heart finds out. This deserted, icy and snowy place is perfect as your cemetery. Son Gohan said with a smile, not weak at all. Really? Robot number 13 replied with a low mechanical voice, expressionless. It seems that he is thinking. Before the artificial man could respond, Son Gohan spoke immediately, and pointed to artificial man number 15 not far away, indicating that Trunks should deal with this artificial man. Trunks, I will leave that little man to you, and I will deal with the remaining two people. Is he, my first enemy? Trunks was extremely excited and serious after receiving the instruction. This is the first time he has really fought an enemy, and in his opinion, he must not lose face in front of brother Gohan. Anyway, I also practiced for a month. Leave it to me, brother Gohan, I will not let you down. The young and energetic Trunks was very confident in his own strength. After a month of hard training, he finally had the time to show his results. The opportunity was in front of him, and he had to seize it. Regarding Trunks as his opponent, android number 15 did not have any emotional changes. Even if he was knocked into the air by this kid just now, it wouldn't affect him. He took out a bottle from his arms, took a sip, and then, android 15 took the initiative to fly and left the area. Choose your own grave yourself? Humph. Stop for me. Trunks was not afraid at all, and now he believed that even with these artificial humans, he had the strength to fight. The two moved to the battle area, and here, only Son Gohan, androids 13 and 14 remained. Without a moment's pause, the burly android number 14 opened its mouth and shouted, and in the next second it rushed towards Son Gohan at a very fast speed. The huge fist, wrapped in unimaginable destructive power, smashed towards Son Gohan head-on. In a short moment, Son Gohan mobilized the first-level energy pool of Super Saiyan in his body. The normal 50-fold increase in combat power raised his combat power limit to 1 billion in an instant. Facing the sudden attack of android number 14, he just dodged perfectly in an instant. Boom! The heavy fist hit the ice under his feet, and in just an instant, the ice layer exploded, and countless ice shards soared tens of meters away. Savage guy, I'm here, idiot! Suspended in mid-air, Son Gohan looked down at the android 14 who was searching for him. Raising his head, android 14 locked onto Son Gohan's position, and its huge body turned into a shell, hitting Son Gohan at the speed of sound. This momentary explosion seemed inevitable to others, but in the eyes of Son Gohan, it was full of flaws. His posture is as perfect and exquisite as a ghost, dodging the assault of android 14, and then hit the cheek of android 14 head-on with a roundabout kick. Chapter 25. Bang! The devastating blow landed on the face of android number 14, and the shocking impact instantly distorted the face of android number 14. The body of android 14 is like a meteorite falling from a high altitude towards the ice. Boom! A loud bang! That huge body crashed headlong into the ice, and the terrifying impact caused countless ice stones to splash. The gap in combat power was revealed in just a momentary collision. Son Gohan's combat power value, under the premise that the normal is 20 million, becomes the first level of Super Saiyan to have a combat power of 1 billion. Android 14's combat power value is only a mere 350 million. Robot number 14 was suppressed with one blow, and Son Gohan glanced at robot number 13 not far away from the corner of his eye. The other party still looked confident, as if he had expected his tough fighting power, and didn't panic at all. So that's the case, just like the original book, are you waiting for me to clear away my companions so that I can absorb evolution? Thinking inwardly, suddenly, another loud shout came. A strong body rushed out of the ice, his face was distorted and deformed by Son Gohan's blow, it was ugly and ugly. Noisy things, be quiet. Facing the surprise attack of android 14, Son Gohan disagreed. A cloud of golden flames emerged from the palm of his hand, and with a big wave of his hand, destructive energy shot out from his palm, mercilessly engulfing the artificial man number 14 killed under him. Boom long! The energy engulfed the body of android 14, causing a deafening explosion in the sky. Billowing thick smoke filled the air, and countless scattered parts fell from the sky and fell on the ice. One-hit kill. After getting rid of android 14, Son Gohan looked down at android 13 with cold eyes. Even watching his companion being killed, this guy is indifferent, without the slightest emotional fluctuation. Interesting, it seems that you are quite confident in your whole cards. Landing on the ground from the sky, Son Gohan stared coldly at android 13 not far in front of him. Have you figured out how to deal with me? It's best to bring me a different surprise, or you will be the next one to become like this. Son Gohan pointed at the artificial man number 13 with one finger, provocatively. Robot number 13 was indifferent to Son Gohan's provocation. On the iris of his eyes, countless calculation formulas emerged, and Son Gohan's brand new data were calculated and included in his mind. The data has been collected, and I have insight into all the actions of Son Gohan. Robot number 13 said suddenly. With the countless numbers entering in his mind, he felt that he was already omnipotent. Even Son Gohan cannot escape the formula of data calculation. He thought he had thoroughly analyzed all of Son Gohan's data, but he didn't know that the part of the data he got now was just the tip of the iceberg that Son Gohan was willing to show him. It seems that you have already figured out a countermeasure. Son Gohan chuckled slightly as the corners of his mouth rose and fell slightly. Son Gohan, you are indeed a very good fighter, but no matter how powerful a fighter is, there will be flaws. Robot number 13 smiled confidently. In the next second, with the thought, he began to pull the important items left after the death of android 14. In the shattered body of android number 14, the undestroyed data storage chip and an energy furnace flew from the ice cave, and were respectively embedded in his left temple and left chest. The entry of the data chip and the energy furnace brought him a qualitative change and sublimation in an instant. The computing power has skyrocketed, and the energy in the body has undergone drastic changes due to the addition of an energy furnace. Boom! In an instant, an aura of extreme terror erupted from the body of android number 13. Crackling. Countless blue and white electric arcs linger around android 13's body. At this moment, although his appearance has not changed much, his energy has ushered in a great strengthening. It's amazing. Can it be so strong just by absorbing one of its companions? His eyes narrowed, and Son Gohan's eyes showed the combat power value of android 13 at the moment. After absorbing the data storage chip and energy furnace of android 14, the combat power value of android 13 soared from 550 million to 950 million. The distance from breaking through to the realm of 1 billion is only 50 million level of combat power. Compared with the current Son Gohan, the combat power value between them is not much different. Today is your end, Son Gohan. Android 13 said confidently. Really? Son Gohan, who was dismissive, struck out decisively. The body was disillusioned, and it rushed out like an aurora, killing the artificial man number 13. The powerful blow went straight to the opponent's cheek. Robot number 13 seemed to have expected it long ago, raised his hand, and lightly blocked the heavy blow that could collapse the mountain. Boom! A loud bang. The aftermath was turbulent, and the previous android number 13 would definitely not be able to resist it, and even a hand would be abolished because of it. But now, android number 13 not only blocked the heavy punch with one hand, but also stood there motionless. It seemed that Son Gohan's attack hadn't affected him in the slightest. It's my turn. Raising his hand to dispel Son Gohan's attack, android 13 launched a counterattack. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.